importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt.
Are you serious, Coach?
That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Rick Bell.
Swain Event and SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-200-5503 is our telephone number here to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. And we thank you for joining us this morning. Brad Matthews is back in the saddle. Brad, do you remember what button to push?
Man,
where
I'm
to
making
go?
sure of that right now.
All right,
it's
man.
been too long. 3 weeks. It's been like 3 months.
It's been a while, man. But it is good to have you back.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, you're coming back from a 40-14 point loss to West Virginia on a Tuesday. We will be joined today by Austin Price of VolQuest. We are joined by him every Tuesday, so that will go down in the third hour, 9:15 here on the Swain event. Yesterday was a bit of a therapy session. Did not expect a 40-14 L. The players, the coaches, they have to move on. They have to. You have to. You got to move on to the next play. But for us, the fans and commentators, we find ourselves talking about the game a little bit more and figuring out what can we do to make some adjustments. Typically, you have more conversations about the previous game when you're playing a team like ETSU. And this is going to be hard this week because I got a lot of respect and love for Randy Sanders. I really do.
That feels mutual in the room.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of love for Randy.
Absolutely.
But it's ETSU. I'm not going to be trash talking ETSU. They're outmatched. They're outmanned. Tennessee should be playing all the backups. Should be playing multiple quarterbacks. Everyone should be getting into the game. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it still doesn't sting what happened on Saturday. Jeremy Pruitt talked to the media yesterday, highlighted some good things. Most of it was not. Talked about Shot Tuttle's play, their defensive line. I think if you had to pick the most disappointing group, that would be the group. I thought we would be able to be more successful up front. As I looked at these matchups, I saw that Tennessee had some advantages offensively, being able to run the football against West Virginia. Tim Jordan did get you 100-plus yards rushing, but it wasn't the same type of 100 yards. It wasn't just 102. It was 125 yards. It wasn't like
hard-earned yards.
Yeah, I mean, he broke the most tackles in week 1 of any running back in the country, according to Football Focus or Pro Focus, College Focus. But it was still – it just wasn't the same success we were looking for in the running game. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. I thought Jared Guantano played well. 19 for 25.
As did I.
Yeah. Did not take deep shots. Looking at the text box from this morning and yesterday, a lot of folks wanted to see the tight ends used more in the passing game. Well, I did too.
Were the tight ends getting open in the passing game?
Well, when you are dealing with pass protection and you're trying to make sure that Jared is clean and you're having this miscommunications on the offensive line, you have to use the tight end sometimes to block. And Tennessee's best matchups to throw the ball deep was to appear to be in some run sets. And that's why you saw 2 receivers and tight end and fullback, or 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, a heavy run set or personnel, and then you pass out of that personnel so that way you eliminate some of those safeties and DBs in that back end of that 3-3-5. Wanted to see us throw the ball down the field more. Didn't happen. I'm sure that will happen this weekend. I'm sure that will happen for the next 2 weeks to work on that, and get down the timing and get those reps. 865-255-03. Team is just 0-1. The season's not over. I mean, I understand we get really emotional because I'm a victim of that too. After the game, I'm walking back to one of the bars or restaurants where we hung out before the game, and it was a good mile and a half, somewhere around that. And I probably said every word in the book. I was upset because I didn't think our older players played with enough fire and tenacity. I didn't think so. I was disappointed. So I was upset. But I wasn't trying to fire the coach, though, in game 1. I was trying to bench the quarterback when it wasn't even his fault. I've seen Keller Chris. I've seen Jared Guantano. And folks want Keller Chris in there. They ain't even seen him practice at Tennessee.
Jared Guantano was nothing close to the problem on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, people have only seen Keller in 1 open practice. And
I mean, if anything, he's one of the reasons why Tennessee's offense had the success that it did in the first half. He stays in there, hangs in, takes some tough shots, loses his helmet on 3 different occasions in the first 30 minutes, where a lot of Tennessee fans are looking around, here we go again.
Need special teams to step it up a little bit. But what a great lesson, though, for our players. Older players know this already. They've been told this. And field position and penalties. Field position is so important. It's the hitting yards. And we struggled to come out the gate fast because of field position. We gave up some points. It could have been a whole lot worse because of a penalty. But, again, these players, these coaches, they've moved on. They have to. That's just how it is. You gotta go forward. 2013, Tennessee goes on the road to Oregon, and Tennessee goes down first drive or one of the first 2 drives for Tennessee, and they go down, and Josh Smith makes a big play, Kroom makes a big play in the passing game, and Tennessee goes up 7-0 against Oregon. Oh, snap. About to be an upset, baby. Tennessee is about to hand Oregon this L in Butch Jones' first game at Tennessee. And then it got real in a hurry. It got ugly in a hurry. And Tennessee looked outmatched. You remember that Oregon tight end that outran the entire Tennessee defense, secondary included? Uh-oh. Yeah, this game is over. And that was the first game of the season. If you took that game and you applied it to the rest of the season, 2013, after game one, you would say, well, Tennessee, they're gonna lose every game. No, they got better. They improved. They played at home. They caught South Carolina sleeping a little bit, and they beat a top 15 team with Javion Clowney as a junior, and he was the first overall pick. Connor Shaw, NFL quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the last 10 years in the SEC. So you can improve. You can continue to work. And who knows what may happen later on in the season. Let's not freak out. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl that throws away the entire season off one game. One game does not define you. 865-200-5503. Take our first break of the day. Stay with us, Swain Event.
Hour one of the Swain Event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
When you or a loved one is injured in an accident, there are a lot of questions. There are medical bills, lost work time, damages. What will you do? You'll need someone who will have your back. Call former Marine Marcos Garza, 865-540-8300. The Garza Law Firm will be with you every step of the way. Put this number in your phone right now, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress, happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, Mike Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Let's get to John in Gainesville here on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, where today is the chicken tender sandwich special at Dead End Barbecue. How about that, Ben?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I had it last week for the first time, and the chicken tenders were good. The fries were amazing. But the best part about it was the sauce, the sweet sauce that came with it. I was in heaven.
It's good stuff, man. Let's get to John in Gainesville. John, good morning.
Good morning, man. Good morning. Good morning. I want to first off preface this by saying I'm not crying about it. I'm just being realistic.
Yes.
All right. 4-8, 5-7 to me is a very realistic. And be honest with you, Swain, unless there's some real improvement, which I'm expecting, I'm having a hard time getting to 4-8. Now, a lot of people are just writing off November. Yeah, we're going to sweep November.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's just kicking the can down the road because I hate to tell them, Missouri's got a very good quarterback that's going to give us fits. Missouri's just always been a bad matchup. Even when we beat them, we only beat them off of Josh Dobbs' legs. We don't have Josh Dobbs' legs. And for the people getting on Garantano, I don't know what game you watched. He was actually one of the highlights.
Yeah, I don't know what they're watching either.
It's insane. I've got to be honest. Before that game, he was one of my biggest question marks. If you were to tell me before that game that Jeremy Pruitt and that offense was going to be the biggest problems of the game of what we saw, I would have said you're crazy because I thought Garantano was going to be one of the biggest problems. I don't know if you could teach awareness. I've actually heard people talking about always staring receivers down. First off, he's not Will Grier. He's not a fifth-year senior. He's a sophomore, correct?
Staring receivers down. Did West Virginia DBs get any hand on the balls? Was there any like any picks that?
Did he have time to stare one down?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like did West Virginia drop some interceptions or something? I mean, I'm confused of what game some folks have watched because I didn't see Jared struggle. I saw him very confident. I saw him take some shots and get up and shake them off. I saw him deliver the ball with great accuracy and anticipation. I don't know what game people are seeing. I don't understand that. It's
was one
unreal.
of the biggest highlights to me is where the ball placement was. Our receivers weren't catching the ball 2 or 3 times like they did last year in one catch. Whatever game people were watching, I think Vol fans need to have a reality check. Yes, I do think we're going to have some big improvement. To me, it's already Florida week, right?
Yes.
I'm already in that mindset. Now, obviously, we got to take care of the next games, but if you ain't preparing for Florida, if we can't stop the run, guess what? We ain't going to win against Florida because they're going to come down here and try to kick our teeth in, run the ball down, and their defense is pretty nasty, by the way. People are just thinking Florida's Florida of last year. They need to watch some Florida because that's a nasty defense.
Yeah, defense will be good.
Look at that schedule and find me 6 wins like people are sitting there saying, oh, we're still going bowling.
Oh, John, it's going to be tough, my friend.
We have to have one of the toughest schedules. If we don't have the toughest schedule, we have the toughest 6-game stretch in the whole country. Nasty.
That's why they say you make your biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2. If Tennessee goes out and they're the same team for the rest of the season that they were in week 1, then yeah, Tennessee is not going to go bowling. Tennessee may lose, 7, 8 games. But what do you think these players are going to do this week? What are you going to do? What do you think they're going to do next week? They're going to practice. They're going to watch film. They're going to improve. They're going to get better. You make your biggest step, your biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2. That's just the way it works. Just like as a player, you make your biggest improvement from your freshman to your sophomore year. So folks are looking at Saturday's game and going, okay, well, that's going to be the team for the rest of the season. No, it's not. It's not going to be the team for the rest of the season. Now, they may lose while playing better than they did on Saturday, but I expect these guys to play better. They're going to make adjustments. A lot of miscommunication up front with the offensive line to start the game. That first play put Tennessee in a hole for the entire first quarter. The entire first quarter, it put Tennessee in a hole. I expect that to be corrected. I expect Tennessee to take more shots down the football field, giving guys like Juwan Jennings and Callaway more opportunities. Josh Palmer, more opportunities. Jared Guantano threw one ball on third down in a hole before the receiver was looking. That is anticipation. That is timing. I don't know what people are seeing criticizing Jared Guantano. It's getting kind of annoying. Like, do you know what you're talking about? Are you watching the game?
He was throwing seeds. He was.
That first play of the game, I can't get over that first play of the game. I went back and watched the game last night.
It was rough, man.
And it looked, obviously we don't know what the coverage was, what the protection was called on that play. It looked like the offensive line was supposed to shift to the left. The left guard did not, the right guard, which was Ryan Johnson at the time, did not shift to the left. It made Brandon Kennedy look really bad.
I'm guessing it was a pass run check, and thanks for the phone call, John. It was a run pass check. There was some communication by Jared, and everyone pass blocked except Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson went to go to the second level to try to go block a linebacker, and when he did that, the guy he was supposed to cross the face of went straight and hit Jared.
Bigelow.
That play impacted Tennessee's offense and defense for the entire quarter. It had Tennessee playing passive. Tennessee basically played 3 quarters of football because you're trying to weather the storm from that one play. When you are in a meeting room, coaches tell us you never know what play can impact the game. You never know. That's why you have to play every play like it's your last. You have to play every play like it's a fourth down play to win the game in the fourth quarter, because you never know what that one play may do to your entire team, how that one play is going to impact the entire game. And the first play of the game for Tennessee impacted us for the entire quarter. So I expect that to be fixed. Will Friend, Tyson Helton, that should be fixed. I think for these coaches, this is their first game seeing these players play against someone else. So a lot of people that played very well in practice, remember how Butch Jones in his first year named Justin Worley the starting quarterback. And Justin Worley didn't play great, but the team won. And so then Florida week comes around, and you have this open competition, which was the worst decision ever, right? To have an open competition Florida week after you won your first 2 games. But that open competition allowed for a great practice player in Nathan Peterman to come out and show out in front of a staff that had never really coached him in a game. So Peterman wows everyone in practice. He beats out Worley. He beats out Dobbs. He's the best practice player. Well, okay, let's throw him out there and give him the start. It didn't translate. That's what happened on Saturday. There's a lot of players, really every player except one, Brandon Kennedy, have not been coached by this staff. So this is the first time that this staff got a chance to see, okay, who will play, who will take it from the practice field to the game field, who are just practice players, who peed down their leg. You know now. You know that, okay, yeah, this dude might have looked great in practice, but when the lights are on, he stiffens up. He's scared. He won't execute. He'll have a brain fart. Think about this. The first 10, 15 plays, they're scripted. So that means you have walked through this play at least 20 times. You know the first play. You have meetings in the hotel the night before. You have meetings in the hotel the morning of. Everyone knows the first play. For you to mess that play up, the first play of the game, that's not good. So that tells the coaches, okay, this guy might look good in practice, but I don't know if I can trust him in the game. You have a clear understanding of who you can depend on and who you can't. So those adjustments will be made moving forward. I'm with John. I'm in Florida week mode. No disrespect to Randy Sanders. That's my guy. But I'm sorry. It's hard for me to get up for ETSU. Because I know all we trying to do is pay for their weight room or something. Pay for them to get some new uniforms. Pay for them to get a cafeteria or something.
It's so real.
I know what this game is all about. Let's keep it real. You expect me to get jacked up against ETSU? Man, please. I'm in Florida Week mode right now. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's bring in Turkey Man on line 1 here, the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Turkey Man, good morning.
Turkey Man.
Good morning, Charlie. Let me tell you, you've been gone for a while, son.
Charlie's still gone. That's not Charlie. That's Brad.
Turkey Man, we just went over this.
Well, I thought you was on the phone, Brad. I'm sorry.
No, this is Brad and Ben, man. Charlie is still on vacation. He'll be on vacation for I guess another week.
Really?
Well, I thought Charlie'd come out of the closet and come on out and
Huh?
And stuck his head out. I thought he stuck
Charlie
his
came
head
out
out.
of the closet.
Turkey Man, what?
Well, I said that wrong. I mean, I thought he was in a hiding place.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
That come out wrong. Okay.
Turkey Man, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's
start over.
Let's start all over, okay? All right, let's start all over. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Hold on, Turkey Man. Hold on. I'm gonna bring you on. Hold on. Play some music. Play some music, Brad. Let's do this segment over. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. We go on to the B-Job Waterproofing Hotline, and we have Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Turkey Man.
Good morning, individual.
Yeah, good morning, individual.
Hey, good morning, Brad.
There you go.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Doing better than I deserve, friend.
Hey, I tell you what. I watched, I taped and watched, I hadn't got a chance to watch it till I guess it was last night, the Jeremy Pruitt show. I tell you what, guys, if any guys got any question about the coaching ability or anything like that, they just need to kind of just wait and see, because it's a big upgrade from what we've had in a long time. And when you got, like he said, he no excuses, not accepting mediocre and mediocrity. And he's saying, when you got a good play called and you don't execute, then that's got to change. And another team will have a good play on, and that happens. But I'm telling you, we've got to learn to tackle. And I was disappointed in the linebackers not finishing in the pass rush, and of course on the offensive line. And I guess what really disappointed me, we're on the 1 yard line and no push, and have a 3 yard loss because of no push. And I think things are going to change in that regards, but it ain't. I'm telling you, it would have been a whole lot worse if we didn't have Jarrett as quarterback, because he has come a long ways, and nobody. If you can't see that, then you don't know nothing about the game of football. The guy's tough as nails. They've been turnover after turnover of somebody else being hit like the boy was hit, and he showed that last year about being tough in that regards. But he was throwing bullets. I seen some. There was a pass to who's number 7?
Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, he made that throw in that window, anticipating the route, and he run the route right, and it was right on the money and a good catch. I see things like that. That's some good coaching, and that also is good finishing. But we've got to get good pass rush, and I think these next 2 games are going to be used to tackle. I think we're going to wrap up people and depend and demand that we tackle and finish. And I think you're going to get back to the nuances and the fundamentals, and we'll see what it plays out. But we definitely overmatched in talent.
We were.
And things that made it even look worse. I mean, there was three times that if West Virginia on the wheel routes and on the I don't know what did you call that, straight up the field toward the pylon. I guess that's wheel route.
9 route.
That if they connected, it'd been ugly in the first half.
Yeah. Well, Turkey Man, you are right. It was not pretty at all. There's going to be some adjustments made. I know someone here who has written a ton of notes on the game. Mr. Ben McKee got a whole pad here of nice notes. At least it looks like notes, unless it's a love letter to a recruit or something.
It's actually a love letter to Jaden Hill. That way,
The true story about how J.J. Peterson is now on campus.
my scratch rap.
Okay.
This is
rough
my
draft
potential freestyling.
This is your rough draft love letter to Jaden Hill.
When I go home for my birthday next week, I can swing by Bob Jones High School and sing to him.
Stay away.
No, these are notes from the game. I watched it last night, charted a couple different things. To the first watch, I'm going to go back and focus on the O-line today because I was first quarter was rough, so it was kind of hard to watch the O-line and quarterback play at the same time. So I'm going to go back and watch the O-line today. But I was impressed with Jarrett going back and watching the game yesterday. There were 5-6 bad throws that I saw, and they weren't tremendously bad throws. I know 2 or 3 of them were on slants where it was just poor ball placement, where it was kind of behind the receiver, and because it was behind the receiver, the DB was allowed to get his hand in there and really swat the ball down. And had it been out in front of the receiver, had he led him, it'd probably be a first down.
Yeah.
So it's just little things like that. It's not a drastically the ball underthrown, overthrown, and then one of the bad throws was that deep throw down the sideline.
It's out of bounds.
It was out of bounds, which it seems like almost every deep pass Tennessee throws, it always ends up.
You call that bad throw though?
Yeah.
With as little as we were going downfield, I mean, you got to break it in at some point. It was only where his guy could catch it. A little out of bounds, yes, but still in stride, and only where a Tennessee guy could catch it. So I don't know if
I say
bad throw.
I say it's a bad throw because I think if it's inbounds, Palmer makes a play on that, and it is a catch, and you're on that side of the field. Did Tennessee end up scoring on that drive? I can't remember if they did, but if they didn't score on that drive, I mean, you're on the.
You just got to give
15,
JG some
20.
chances to throw it downfield.
I mean, you have catastrophic throws, which are interceptions, things like that. You have good throws, you have great throws, and then you have a bad throw. And I think if you ask Jarrett about that throw, he's not gonna say anything but bad. I mean, the ball went out of bounds. When you throw the ball out of bounds, you're giving your guy 0% chance. 0% chance. It's like reaching your hand out to catch a ball. Would you rather do it with one hand or 2 hands? Well, 2 hands, you give yourself a better opportunity. Well, throwing the ball out of bounds gives you a 0% chance of catching it. And a guy like Josh Palmer, who all fall camp, did a really good job of catching those passes in 50-50 jump ball situations. Jarrett has to keep that ball in bounds. Josh Palmer has to do a better job of making sure that he gives Jarrett 5 yards from the sideline. So when you run a go route, you can't allow the DB to push you to the sideline because the quarterback is trying to drop the ball a little bit outside of your shoulder. So if you're running 2 yards from the sideline or 3 yards from the sideline, and then the quarterback's trying to throw the ball over your shoulder, well, the ball's going to go out of bounds, and everyone looks at the quarterback. In that situation, it's the wide receiver. So if you're streaking down the middle of the field, if you're streaking down the field on the numbers, you have to make sure you give the quarterback enough room to drop the ball over your shoulder. So bad throw, bad route, bad rep on both guys. I put both guys at fault there. That is a wasted opportunity. I went back and counted the possessions for each team. You only got 10 opportunities. West Virginia got 10 possessions. Tennessee got 10 possessions. That's it. 10 possessions. That's all you got. The total plays, you go back and look at the total plays, it's not that much either. You don't have that many opportunities. So you got to make sure you maximize every single opportunity that you have. And that was just the one we missed. Can't throw the ball out of bounds. You work on that stuff every single day. Routes versus air. You work on that stuff during one-on-ones. You got to make sure that you don't have those balls out of bounds when you have a guy like Palmer who's 6'2" and has a big body that can muscle the ball away from DBs. It's a wasted opportunity. There's no way to sugarcoat it. 865-200-5503. We will go back to the phones after this.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny Alcoa.
There's a 10% chance of showers today, mostly sunny with a high of 91 and a low of 71. A 20% chance of rain tomorrow, partly sunny skies and a high of 89 with a low of 70. Another 20% chance Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices, and during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted, like a new Silverado, now 25% off, a new Equinox, now 20% off, and a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
You're a hell of a guy, man.
Now that's how you're supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
This kid can draw circles.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Bam! Awesome. Phenomenal.
Attaboy.
All right, got 2 attaboys today. Both go to former Vol players who made a roster on an NFL team. The first one is to Khalil McKenzie. Never played offensive line in college. Was drafted to play offensive line by the Kansas City Chiefs, and he made the 53-man roster. Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm waiting for the important one.
The most important one is A.J. Johnson making the 53-man roster because he was out of football for 3 or 4 years, and he made the 53-man roster there with the Denver Broncos. That's the most important one.
Okay, then I'm waiting for the second most important one.
Joshua Dobbs, with his back against the wall, starting a preseason game, and the Steelers was going to make a decision whether to cut him or trade him, or Landry Jones, who has been there, who had the advantage because he's been there longer, knows the offense. The Steelers went out and drafted a quarterback in this year's draft in third round, and so you knew that quarterback was not going to be cut. But Josh Dobbs seized the moment, my friend. He went out there and balled out, and they cut Landry Jones, and now Josh Dobbs is listed as the number 2 quarterback behind Ben Roethlisberger. So congratulations to Josh Dobbs. I know I'm happy for him. I know a lot of other people happy for him. Congratulations to Josh Dobbs. He's a gamer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had a phenomenal preseason in 3 games. He was 29 of 43, 434 passing yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he also ran the ball 64 for 64 yards on 10 carries. And out of Pittsburgh's 4 quarterbacks this preseason, Dobbs finished with the best quarterback rating while completing 67% of his passes.
Love that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So this one, I'm pumped about this attaboy. My boy, one of my really good friends, Kyle Wright, got the call to the big leagues over the weekend. It was Saturday, right as Tennessee was kicking off. He was part of a September call-up, going to wear number 73 with the Atlanta Braves. I texted him over the weekend and asked him if he had any idea of when he was going to pitch. He said he had no idea because he was going to be living the bullpen life over the next month. But based off how many relievers the Braves used in yesterday's game, I would expect Kyle to come in and pitch tonight against the Red Sox. And if his major league debut consists of him shoving it down the Red Sox throat, I will be elated with joy. So just huge congratulations to my good friend Kyle Wright.
You don't know Kyle?
No, not at all. His dad wasn't my baseball coach or anything.
You don't know Kyle. They ain't your friend.
Together.
They ain't your friend.
Do I need to show you receipts?
They ain't your friend. You don't know him.
Hey, big
That's my cousin.
How much Nike?
How much money you make?
Y'all see this? I know you all saw this. Nike, Colin Kaepernick. I love it. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. Nike teaming up with Colin Kaepernick. Love what they're doing there. Also, Bryson DeChambeau, back-to-back wins in the FedEx Cup playoffs. PGA Tour, I know y'all were watching that. The Lynx this past weekend, Bryson DeChambeau locked in the 1 seed for the Tour Championship. Attaboy.
Nah, bro. Did not watch.
The real attaboy goes.
I was watching football.
The real attaboy.
So was I. This is the least amount of golf I'd watched in a long time.
Nah, bro.
I was watching football as well. The real attaboy goes to me surviving another season at Smokey Stadium.
Oh.
The season 2 is in the books.
Snaps to you, Ben.
So yesterday was the final game. I did a little rain dance on my way out.
Don't hurt yourself.
Millie Rock a couple times.
Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, that's right. This is, you ain't Charlie, so you good to go. You can dance a little bit. You got a little bit more rhythm. All right, let's get to the phones, and let me see who we have. TRDR Vol. All right.
It was one or the other.
Let's do it. I think it's DR Vol. DR Vol, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Good morning.
Everything, man. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I think y'all left off omission of somebody that made a roster this weekend, though.
Who else?
JJ.
Oh, yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, JJ's here.
Bigfoot, exactly.
Man. JJ's here.
Exist.
Yeah, he had his first practice yesterday, and it looked like his first practice in college football. Didn't have any pads on. You have to go in helmet, and then I think you got to go a couple days there, and then you can go shoulder pads and then full pads. But the team was in shorts anyway, so it didn't really stand out that much.
I was calling, I guess, more for a comment, but after one game, there's already evidently a fire Pruitt site, and I don't know. I guess some people just didn't watch the same game as I did, because I was seeing where people were saying Guarantano's not your guy, and I thought he looked awesome. I mean, especially compared to last year. Offensive line, I thought they fixed some issues. One person I was extremely disappointed in, though, was Drew Richmond. I mean, I know star rating don't mean anything, but I guess he still just don't seem to be getting it. I mean, see what you guys think about that.
I expected some more push up front. I expected a guy like Drew Richmond, who's a junior now, to say, you know what, I'm going down the hill here. First 2 years you're going up the hill, so you tend to take things for granted because you have time. Just like as a young kid, you do immature things because okay, I got plenty of time to figure it out and grow up. Well, so you kind of feel that way as a young football player, as a freshman, as a sophomore. Then when you're a junior, you start getting serious about film study and understanding that you don't have a few more opportunities to wear the uniform. And I just need Drew Richmond to have some sense of urgency to know that, man, it's not guaranteed. I mean, you look at this recruiting class, there's offensive linemen who are committed, who are ranked just where he was coming out of high school. And Tennessee is, I think, one of two schools that have a chance to get Darnell Wright too. And so your replacements are in high school right now. So y'all better be careful. You better have a sense of urgency, or you will be watching next year. I just need these guys to have a sense of urgency and understand how this stuff works. You will be watching if you don't step it up this year.
I agree. I mean, I hate to say it, but
it's true.
I think he'll be watching next year if he don't improve a lot.
He may be.
I will say this, in going back and watching the game, I may have missed something, but what I saw, I didn't see Drew Richmond royally screw up as you saw some of the interior offensive linemen did. But on the flip side of that, he also didn't have any big-time impact blocks that kind of set the tone in the running game or the passing game. So I don't know that he had like an awful game, but he definitely didn't have that impact that you would hope a former five-star would.
I need you to impact.
Yes.
You're a junior now. I don't need to say, man, you didn't mess up. I expect more of Drew Richmond. I expect him to impact. I expect him to for us to watch the film and go, yes, that is why he was a five-star. That is why he was the number one ranked tackle in the country. I need to see more of that.
Yeah, well, and like Ben said, and you could see it a lot with Yamir Johnson and Ryan Johnson. That first play of the game, they did screw up. Even Brandon Kennedy, he didn't get a stop on that guy. But that number 40, I mean, God, he'll play on Sundays one day. He was amazing.
Kenny Bigelow, and I talked about it on Friday before the game.
What a name.
Dana Holgerson, in talking about why West Virginia's defensive line was so bad last year, was because they lacked size and they lacked maturation and experience, and they purposefully went out and got 2 graduate transfers in Kenny Bigelow and Jabril Robinson. And, I mean, you saw how important Kenny Bigelow was to that defensive line. I mean, he was an absolute game changer. He took that West Virginia defensive line from being bad to at least being above average, and against Tennessee being good.
Yeah, he did. And last thing I'll close with is I am extremely worried about our defensive line because I don't know what it's going to take. We've got to get some pressure. Greer he's a great quarterback, but I mean we gave him a lot of time. That kind of helps you be a great quarterback.
Yeah, I think Will Greer had way too much time to throw it. I felt like Tennessee had a chance to win because I thought we would be able to get to Will Greer, not actually sacking him, but hurrying him and him throwing the ball up for grabs. He did it on a few occasions, and then we didn't come down with an interception, but we didn't do it enough. He was able to get to a spot, deliver the football without even getting hit. I was watching the game because I had to go. I had to go to the game because I get a different view than watching on TV. I'm sitting there. It's me and Jabbar Davis, and we're sitting on the Tennessee side, kind of in the corner of the end zone. And I'm like, man, Will Greer's jersey, uniform show is clean. They may not have to even wash that bad boy. They can just hang that back up, spray some Febreze on it, and he'll be ready to go for the next game.
I mean, in watching the game back yesterday, I counted 25 times where I considered he did not have any pressure in his face. 25.
You're probably being generous too.
And trying to be generous.
Well, thanks for the phone call, DR Ball. We gotta get to Spencer. Got a few minutes left in the show for hour one, not the show for the entire show, but just hour one. Spencer, good morning.
Good morning, guys. After kind of watching the game, and I watched a little bit more of it on Sunday. A couple things I was not happy with, but there was some promise of, is I like our coaching style for the most part. Pruitt, first-time head coach. There's a couple little mistakes he made. He had mentioned running out the clock and things like that. But overall, I like setting the tone by trying to go with on 4th and 1. Unfortunately, when we go out on the field and the first play on offense, that first drive was just horrible. You're real, like I agree with you, Jason. You're basically in the hole for a quarter because you're trying to build some momentum and set the tone. And so that's unfortunate because I feel like if that had gone right, who knows what we're talking about here. But the other thing was too, our freshmen, our secondary freshmen, the three guys that were playing in the secondary, here's what I like: the fact that they didn't quit. I like the fact that besides a couple spots of busted coverage, they were playing hard. A couple times they were just maybe caught looking inside a little too much. And those are things you can fix. But to me, I'm Micah Abernathy and Balin Buchanan at this point cannot play in this league. I mean, just based on what I saw, I was just like, here we go. Same old, the freshman is at least like, what's the ceiling? You don't really know. With these guys, I'm kind of like, I feel like I know what the ceiling is, and I feel like we're here.
Yeah, and none of this stuff is personal. Okay,
no.
When I have to preface my statements here because I understand we live in a day and age where people get sensitive. People can't take criticism, even if it's constructive, and even if it's with love. People can't take it, and they take it the wrong way. I have never criticized someone because it was personal at all when it comes on the football field. And so this is with love, okay? This is the same thing that probably is being said in the meeting rooms. Same thing. I was really disappointed in Micah Abernathy's play. And here's the reason why. He is a smart young man. He is an experienced football player. And he has a perfect opportunity to come up and make a tackle for a loss. And the running back gets the ball, bounces outside, and somehow, some way, the running back is allowed to go outside. Well, he had plenty of help inside, did not keep his outside shoulder free, did not make the running back cut it up, but the running back was able to bounce, didn't even get a hand on him. And I'm sitting there like, what? Is this a freshman? No, it's a junior, it's a senior. That's how you get replaced. We can get a freshman that can do that. And then on the long touchdown run, catch and run by the wide receiver, it's like four guys around and Micah's right there. You got to make that tackle. Don't dive at him. Secure the tackle. And that's really frustrating for me. Swain event, hour 2 coming up.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man.
I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
Had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense.
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The berry punch and activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the pure recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
All right, let's get to Mark on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Mark, good morning.
Swaino, my brother, what's happening?
What's happening, man? What's happening? Thanks for calling.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate you taking my call after Friday.
Hey, man, it's all good, man. Emotions was running high on both sides, so it's all good.
That's the great thing about preseason. You can be anything. You know, you start looking at star ratings and you start believing the hype, and then you get back to reality, to what we have. Now, on the game, dude, I'm severely disappointed in the star rating for the defensive line and the way they performed. No pressure, that ain't gonna work. Nigel and Abernathy are better ball players than what they played Saturday. We've seen it; they're better ball players than that. So they'll get that fixed. I ain't worried about that. You knew the cornerbacks were going to get torched. We knew that. They'll learn from that, and that's okay. But my biggest thing that I took from that game is Guantano made huge steps, dude. I'm not a Guantano fan. I never have been. I watched the spring game. I watched the 7 games last year that he played. Unbelievable what that young man has done. He really surprised me, and we have got us a quarterback. And we've got one that can take a hit and is tough as nails. He delivered some balls Saturday that were, we ain't seen that kind of passing in a while. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the receivers. Man, no drop balls. So we got a lot of things to work on. It's one game. It doesn't mean anything. It does, but, it doesn't mean anything in the SEC. I'm not ready to throw in the whole season and say we're going to be 4-8. I'm not ready to give up on Florida because we're going to see what they're going to do this week. They should make big strides this week and big strides next week, and maybe we'll be ready for Florida. Maybe not. We'll see then. So don't freak out, Vol fans. It ain't over till it's over, baby. Go on.
Go ahead, Swain. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just kind of in going back and watching the game, the one thing that I was really disappointed in was the blocking by the tight ends. It was all of them. It was Dominic Wood-Anderson. It was Eli Wolf. It was Andrew Craig. Even Austin Pope when he was in there. It was just
I would agree with that, especially when you
piss poor, quite frankly.
When you know coming in that the West Virginia defense, especially on the edge, isn't going to be the top-level talent, top-notch talent that you're going to be seeing in the heart of this SEC slate.
I can't tell you how many times I saw Dominic Wood-Anderson just whiff. Completely whiff. Wouldn't even get in front of the man. And maybe that's because it's his first game at this level, drinking water out of a fire hydrant. But, if Tennessee is going to have success against these bigger physical teams, the tight ends are going to have to step up. And, yes, Eli Wolf he's a great story, but when he's your best blocking tight end, that's a problem.
you can't think on the football field. You got to react. You got to go. And when you have repped a play or a blocking technique or a route, you've repped it so many times in practice, you just go. Of course, you make your pre-snap observations when you line up at every position, and you see kind of what a defender is and what adjustment you have to make. But that process should be very quick. That's like a 1 to 2, 3 second observation, and now you're saying, okay, let's go. The moment you think, and it was too much thinking on offense, the moment you think, you're beat because West Virginia is reacting. They're going full speed. Talent is great. You got to have talent to win. But if you are not going full speed and believing in 100% of what you're doing and you're not hesitant, then you can catch up to talent. You can beat talent. And that's what I saw on Saturday. You got to give West Virginia credit. We're not giving West Virginia the credit they deserve. There's too much of just looking at us and making it seem like that, we messed up. Well, West Virginia made us mess up because they had a really good plan. Will Grier is the real deal. I think he's going to be a first-round quarterback if he continues to play and stay healthy. He's really good.
If he plays like that all season, he'll be the first quarterback off the board.
I mean, he's good. That defense, if that defense plays like they played against us, they'll compete for the Big 12 championship. They'll compete against Oklahoma. I really believe that. I think, and someone on Twitter did this yesterday, looked really silly doing it. They're not 7-5. They were 7-5 last year. Repeat, they were 7-5 last year. This is a different football team. Tennessee is a different football team. We're not a 4-8 football team. Now, we don't play well and we play some tough teams. You can have the same record, but it's not the same team. So stop looking at West Virginia like they were the same team last year. They're not the same team. They're not. They went out, they addressed some run defensive issues. They went out, got themselves a grad transfer to hold his own there on the defensive line, and he did that.
He earned money on Saturday.
He did, yeah, absolutely. And so they're not the same team. They lost games because Will Grier was out. You understand why? Because he's important. He's all world. He's the pulse of that team. He is their Aaron Rodgers. He is. Is he Aaron Rodgers? No, but he is their Aaron Rodgers. He's their Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He's good. So I got to give credit to them.
He made 2 unbelievable throws. There's one to Gary Jennings on the seam where Micah, in my opinion, played it perfectly, other than maybe turning his head around at the last second. But like you talked about yesterday, we can wish and hope that they turn their head around, but that does slow him down, and maybe Gary Jennings is able to throttle up and blow right past him. But Micah Abernathy was on his hip, had nowhere to catch the football, and Will Grier threw it in the perfect spot to where Micah had no chance. And Gary Jennings also did a great job of looking for the ball at the last second and not allowing Micah to kind of realize, okay, the ball's coming. And there's another one to David Sills where, Nigel was all over him, and maybe that was to Gary Jennings as well for a touchdown. But Nigel was all over him, and just back shoulder, over the shoulder throw to where only his guy could catch it. Just some unbelievable throws that, Tennessee struggled in the secondary, but there are also some throws where there's nothing Tennessee's secondary could do about it.
Let me address Vol fans here, because this has already started. I knew it would. I've been doing this for a while now, so I'm not surprised. Fans are emotional. That's a part of being a college football fan. You're going to react. You're going to overreact. You're going to overreact. I understand that. I respect that. I was upset after the game, too. I was cussing out everybody. There was a couple people that listened to the show that came up to me, and they were like, Jason Swain. No, that's not me. I wasn't in the mood. I was pissed off. And I apologize if you're listening, because I go there like as a player. Like I watch the game, and like I go there because I'm watching the game as I won't say a coach because I'm not a coach, but like the little things like your outside shoulder being free and the little small techniques and, you know, Josh Palmer catching the pass on the goal line and stopping his feet before contact because he's expecting the contact rather than running through that defender, like that upsets me while I'm watching the game. That's why sometimes I need to be at the house. And so I overreacted just like you. I'm no different than you. But I know after a certain point, I have to put things in perspective, and I got to start thinking with my head instead of my emotions. And that's what I did before I got on TV and got on the radio. I do it every week. I do it every time we win or lose. Emotionally, I don't get too high after a win. I put that win to a side, or I put that L to the side, and I have to start thinking with my head. And I understand that about our fan base, just like I understand that about any fan base. And so I give grace there. This is one thing that's starting to annoy me, though, is people with the microphone talking down to the fans because they're upset because Tennessee lost. I'm not talking about the fans who want to fire Jordan Pruitt year one. That's just silly. Or after game one, that's just silly. I'm ignoring that. That's just silly. That's just ridiculous. But I'm talking about the normal fan who's upset that Tennessee got embarrassed on Saturday, 40-14. You're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to be upset. Everyone should be upset. You're supposed to be. Who is happy about that? But you still have to keep things in perspective. What I'm tired of is people with a mic, experts with a pen, trying to tell Vol fans how they should feel and trying to tell Vol fans that they shouldn't be upset and that they're spoiled. Huh? What? Spoiled from what? I'm sorry. When I think of a spoiled fan base, I think of programs like Ohio State and Alabama and Clemson that in a win, they complain because they didn't beat the team bad enough. Or
y'all remember those days?
A season where, okay, you didn't get to the college football playoff. You were one play away from the college football playoff, and now you want to fire folks. That's what I think of when I think of spoiled. Not a program that has been wandering in the wilderness for the last 10 years. Not a program that has had all the issues in administration for years. And the fan base continues to pour out support financially, emotionally, physically, making sacrifices to go to games, to put other things aside to buy season tickets. Please stop talking down to the fan base. These guys have a reason to be upset. I understand that. Because for Jeremy Pruitt, it's year one. Yes, it's going to take a year or 2 or 3, however long it's going to take to rebuild. I'm going to say 2. I think by the time Alontae Taylor is a junior, I think Tennessee's going to be in a pretty good spot. That's just me based on
Thompson.
That's just me based on what I'm seeing in recruiting and what I'm seeing in some of the development. I think year 3, Pruitt's going to be okay. Okay? But you have to understand where the fans are coming from. You have to put yourself in their shoes. It ain't just year 1 for them. They went through the rebuild of Dooley. That's 3. They went through the rebuild of Butch Jones. That's 6. And in 2016 was supposed to be the year of taking a talented football team and going to do something special. So that's 6 years the fans have waited. 6 years. They waited on a winner. And they didn't get it. So now they have to wait again. Here we go. That's 7 if you include 2017. And now they have a new coach. And in the 8th year, we went out, first game of the season. Everybody else is winning in the SEC. West Virginia traditionally is not really supposed to outman Tennessee and outclass Tennessee and have better players in Tennessee, but they did. So understand the fans' frustration. They supposed to be upset. And sometimes they're going to say some things emotional. Like, Garantano should be playing. That's just silly. We know you don't believe that. That's just emotion talking. We know you don't really mean that Pruitt needs to be fired first game. That's just emotion talking. But people with a pen and people with a microphone, man, stop talking down to the fan base. Because you just don't get it. It's been longer than a few months for the Vol fans. They've been waiting for a decade. 865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The berry punch and activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the pure recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, the berry punch and activator will light up the scoreboard.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event. Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
We got touchdown turnover here on the Swain event. That is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. We have a really good matchup this weekend. You got Clemson, you got Texas A&M. The first weekend did not disappoint at all. Had some really good games. I'm going to make this about LSU though. First game of the season for LSU. Joe Burrow, grad transfer from Ohio State. Touchdown turnover. You were surprised in LSU's performance against Miami. Touchdown turnover.
I go touchdown. I was very surprised. I was more impressed with LSU's defense and LSU's running game than I was surprised by Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had a great game. I take that back. I don't believe he had a great game. I thought he had an average game, but because of what they were able to do in the running game, I thought he was maybe able to make some plays in the passing game. But overall, I didn't think he had a phenomenal game. I still think that LSU has, I don't know that I'd call it a quarterback problem, but LSU still doesn't have that quarterback that can get them over the top, in my opinion. And Joe Burrow's been there a month and a half, and maybe it's just first game jitters and whatnot. But I was very impressed by LSU's defense and their running game, and I was kind of worried about that going into the year because, you know, normally you can point to LSU's roster and, okay, they have Kenny Hill. Okay, not Kenny Hill, Jeremy Hill, I'm sorry. Darius Geis, Leonard Fournette, they had those go-to guys, and this year they didn't have a go-to guy on their roster, so I was kind of, okay, where's LSU going to get their production from? And they found that, so I was very, very impressed by LSU. LSU was one of the teams I was most impressed with overall this weekend.
It's going to be a turnover for me solely because I was more disappointed with how Miami came out than impressed with LSU. LSU came out better than I expected, but I'm not impressed with them yet.
Are you surprised?
I was surprised. Was that the touchdown turnover? Okay, I was impressed.
You surprised in the LSU performance?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially defensively. I think been nailed on the head there. The running game is going to remain stout. I think the wide receivers, they have talent, but they're young. Can Burrow continue to get them the ball and protect it? I mean, we saw examples of that this year.
I'm saying touchdown. Game. There was a legit respect for LSU's passing game, and that alone is different than the last 2 or 3 years of LSU on offense. So I'm going to say touchdown. Those guys came out. They were shot out of a cannon. That defense has athletes all over the football field, and that's what happens when you recruit well. So let me get to the phone. Someone there holding? Who was that on the phone?
We've got Trevor there.
Let's get to Trevor. Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Hey, first off, I want to say God bless Ben for going back and watching the game. I couldn't get to. Hey, Ben, man, you're doing a good job though. I enjoy your program.
I appreciate it. The first half was actually, I enjoyed watching the first half because it was a close football game, and even the beginning of the third quarter. But once Will Greer found his rhythm, it was not fun to watch.
Yep. Hey, you said something about the tight ends, and I was thinking about that, and you're right, because I remember several plays that stuck out to me. I mean, there was one where I think we were trying to throw like a wide receiver screen, and Austin Pope just like totally whiffs on his guy, and it's like a tackle for a loss. And then one of the goal line plays where Tim Jordan's it's a toss play, I think, and I think Pruitt said Bumpus was supposed to cut block the guy, and he totally missed him. And so it's things like that, you know, as much as I hate Bill Belichick, he always says, you know, how many times do you hear him say, like on these NFL, you know, these documentaries, and he's saying, like, do your job, you know.
That's it.
One guy can mess up a whole play, and I think you said it, Swain. You know, you can have 10 guys doing the same thing, one guy doing something else, and it's going to blow the whole play up.
That's it, man. That's it. Too much of that, and that's why I think Pruitt is, you know, he's not in freak out mode, and if he was, he's not going to let people know. But I don't think he is. From people that I've talked to, he knows what he has to fix, and he's confident that it will be fixed. This is their first game coaching with these players, and a bunch of players who were counted on that was not even a part of Tennessee's program last year. You got to think about how many freshmen played, how many JUCO players and grad transfers played. A lot of new on this football team, and so It's not an excuse. You know, you never use that as an excuse, but it is a reason, and now you have to adjust and go back to the drawing board and fix those mistakes.
Yeah, Pruitt said something in the press conference yesterday. You know, I think he was saying there's a difference between, mental errors and technical, errors in their technique. I mean, I think, technique errors, that's something you can fix. You know, a lot of these guys like missing assignments or Trayvon Flowers, being flat-footed, letting the guy run right by him. I mean, that's stuff that you can improve on. I think mental errors is probably harder to correct, but I think people are crazy if they think that they're going to be this bad all year long. They're going to get better. I mean, they may still lose. We may still possibly lose 8 games, but we're going to be a better football team. So
they'll improve, and the competition will improve too. So that's just how it is in this league. Trevor, thanks so much for the phone call.
I will say on that wide receiver screen to Cedric Tillman, it was Eli Wolf.
Yeah, it was Eli Wolf. Yeah, we said that yesterday. He totally whiffed.
Trevor mentioned Austin Pope, and so just
I just
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Austin Pope got dinged for his personal foul penalty. I don't want him to have to bear the responsibility of whiffing on that wide receiver screen as well.
Caught the retaliation.
He should have been dinged for the personal foul penalty. That was just a bonehead decision.
Yes.
And I like Austin Pope. Again, none of these comments are personal. There's a few guys on this team I know probably more than anyone. I worked with Austin Pope when he was an 8th grader, when he played wide receiver. So I got nothing but love for Austin Pope. Austin Pope on signing day came to Dead End Barbecue and was part of our event when he signed in Tennessee. It ain't personal, but that was a boneheaded play. And those are plays that get you beat. He can't make that play at all. Alex says, Swain and Vince spitting straight facts right now. We've waited 8 years, and 2016 was supposed to be the year, but injuries happened. West Virginia just had the staff and the team this year. Hell of a program. Vols are frustrated. Someone else says, if Pruitt is just okay in year 3, he's in trouble. But I mean, okay means he's going to have talent. Sorry, I didn't use a good enough adjective to describe what I meant there. Year 3, he's going to have more for his guys. He's going to have talent, and okay means he's going to be able to compete at a higher level. So I guess I should have said he's going to be awesome and undefeated and the best coach ever. Probably should have said that.
Well, Swain, if you don't say that he needs to be fired, or if you don't say he needs to receive an extension, he's going to be the best coach ever, then you don't know what you're talking about. You can't be down the middle. You have to be one extreme or the other.
Yeah. I need folks who the fan base listen to, whether they write or they have a microphone. Like, you have a responsibility, and it's really easy to make comments when you're not in the trenches. What I mean by that is, go tailgate with some fans. Go build a relationship with some fans and hear how they sacrifice. Hear how they put aside these funds just to be able to support their team and how they travel. And I think you will have maybe a different view on them when they complain about some things and understand that they are we're emotional. Like, we're emotional. And it's not like Tennessee's had a lot of success to where fans are spoiled. No, what Tennessee fan is spoiled? What football fan is spoiled right now?
It's on the flip side of that.
I don't care who.
You're threatening on losing a generation because of how down the program has been in comparison to the norm. I think there's some young families out there looking at their kids and they're wondering, gosh, how many times am I going to have to dip back into the late 90s, early 2000s and tell my kid about the glory days so he doesn't go off and start liking another team because he's about to come to that age.
Yeah, because kids –
talk about spoiled.
Kids are front runners. So, I mean – and these are comments on Twitter. And I've been doing this for a while in this market, and I know how sometimes we get after a L, and I know you have infighting with the fan base, so they're bickering back and forth on Twitter and Facebook, and you got fans who now they become the fan police because now they going around saying I'm a real VFL, and you're not a real VFL if you don't accept the 40-14 loss. I mean, you have that stuff going on, and it's so annoying. I used to pay attention to it. Now I don't. You're not a fan police, so worry about your own fandom and understand that everybody handles their team getting embarrassed differently. Some people look at the positives. Some people say, okay, yeah, we got beat down, but there are some good things in the game. There's some folks who go, oh my gosh, the world's about to crash. I had a conversation with a very smart, knowledgeable football fan yesterday, and the world's crashing for him. And I'm like, it's the first game. It's the first game. It's Pruitt's first game. Let them make adjustments. I didn't call him a terrible fan. I didn't go and try to take his fandom card, a VFL card, or whatever you call it. You're upset. You're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to be upset.
Real quick before we go to the phones, I think another big problem was Tennessee fans went into this game thinking that West Virginia was overrated. They're not overrated. Tennessee lost big, and now they're kind of, oh.
Was it thinking West Virginia was overrated
Yes.
or just wanted to believe?
No.
They just wanted to believe,
Ben. No, a lot of people legitimately thought West
right.
Virginia was overrated.
You're right.
Yeah, there was a lot of overrating our talent, because that game told me something too. I thought our talent would show up more than they did, but I have to take a step back and understand that 4- and 5-star talent out of high school is not the same talent now. You have to understand something. Shaw Tuttle went through injuries. Went through several injuries, and he had a good game. I'm just using him as an example.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just using Shaw as an example. He played well, okay, but I'm just using Shaw as an example here. Shaw went through several injuries. He was underdeveloped in the weight room. He was part of the team that had Michael Surgeon, and then you brought in Rock Gullison because it looked good, and Rock and Butch had a relationship that was really good. I don't know where the relationship is now, because going into a relationship, everything is good with Butch. There's so many people that don't talk to Butch anymore, and their relationship is out the doors in the trash can because of how he was when they worked for him. So I don't know what that relationship is like now between Rock Gullison and Butch. But Rock was about to retire for them Rams. He's about to be let go. He was good. He had coached in the league for a very long time, very successful strength coach. But he didn't know what he signed up for. He was surprised. He was told he was only going to do football and had to do other sports. He was not happy. I don't think he even bought a house here, folks. So that didn't work out. So you had 2 years of basically wandering in the wilderness with your strength and conditioning program. How can you be the best player that you need to be when you have 2 years of going in the wrong direction with the strength and conditioning program? You have a medical staff that just was replaced by Pruitt when he comes in. So no telling what was going on there. We got guys who having simple procedures, and they're out of half a year. So that's going on. You're not the same player as you was coming out of high school. You're not a 5-star. You're not a 4-star coming out of high school. And then you have to line up against guys who've had the same strength coach. There's no problems with the medical staff. And all that stuff came out on Saturday, in my opinion. All right, let's get to phones. And phone lines are lit. That's what the kids say. Let's get to Alex. Alex, good morning.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Alex.
I'm calling from Springfield, Missouri, walking to class. I was at the game this past weekend, and I wasn't too impressed with the defense. What you got to say about it?
You shouldn't be impressed. Defense?
Yeah, I think it needs. It needs a lot of work.
You shouldn't be, and I don't. Again, it goes back to people trying to tell you how that you should feel. You're not supposed to be impressed. Tennessee gave up 40 points. Jeremy Pruitt has been great at Georgia, Florida State, Alabama as a defensive coordinator. Did he forget how to coordinate? No, he did not forget how to coordinate. One thing he had at those places, he had players. He doesn't have the same players. But you're not supposed to sit here and be happy about giving up 40 points. You're supposed to be upset. Because I can guarantee you one thing, Jeremy Pruitt is upset.
Oh, I was more than upset.
Yeah.
I was horrified.
He's not trying to spin it. You know,
how do you spin 429 and 5 touchdowns?
He's not trying to spin it.
Yeah.
He's owning it. It's not like he come out and said, "Hey, man, we're just lucky we didn't give up 50." What? That's what the last coach would have said. Pruitt is supposed to be pissed off.
Yeah, and I think that Pruitt knows what's wrong with the defense. He's a defensive-minded coach. Yeah. I think he knows what's wrong. I think he's just going to have to take a little time to get around to fixing the problems that we had. I just think that we got beat on speed more than anything.
Yep. You got beat on.
You blink, and West Virginia was 3/4 away down the field.
Speed, some poor technique. Some of it was some of it was technique. Some of it was you just don't have the Jimmys and Joes.
Veteran leadership from the quarterback that was nothing but composed the entire game. That 2-minute drill to end the first half, the composure there, the poise, just ripple effect throughout the entire offense, and you saw it. I mean, they only needed 90 seconds.
Yeah,
that just comes with maturity. I think that JG will start to let the game come to him than trying to rush it, trying to push it.
Well, he was composed out there on Saturday, and kind of my opinion, he didn't look like he was flustered any at all. And he took two big shots, one on the rollout goal line where he tried to run it in, and then one on a blitz from the field. And Tennessee had the ball on the right hash. The blitz come from the field. It was two unblocked guys, and J.G. had a semi rollout to the right, and he got smashed. He threw the ball deep to Brand Johnson that fell about 5 yards too far.
He knew he was about to get hit.
He got smashed,
which in my opinion was probably the craziest throw that he made all game.
He got smashed, and so we know we have a tough quarterback who's going to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. And as wide receiver, you respect that. Thanks.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Thanks for the phone call, man. I really appreciate that. Let's go to Rod. Rod, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Oh, man, you know how it is. Coming back from Charlotte.
Hey, Rod, are you on speaker, Bluetooth, something like that?
Hold on.
Yeah, we gotta change that up. We gotta get 1% better there. Make some adjustments, I guess. All right, Rod, you good? Rod, are you there?
Why don't you put Rod back on hold? And
Let's get Titans Bill. Let's get Titans Bill in here. Yeah, when you call in, no Bluetooth or speakerphone. It kind of sounds a little funky there. So let's get to Titans Bill. Titans Bill, good morning.
Good morning, my good friend Jason. The thing that really bothers me, okay, we got our kingdom tore down. But am I going to demand that Pruitt should be getting the axe? No. I believe they'll be ready for East Tennessee State. But if you can recall in the past, my good friend Jason, when Butch Jones was here, he would let them mid-majors sort of hang around.
Correct.
But I don't believe it's going to happen with Jeremy Pruitt as head coach. I don't believe that's going to happen at all.
You have a standard of how you want to play, and the opponent shouldn't matter. When you look at other teams who are some of the best teams in the country, they're beating teams 70-something to 14. They're beating teams 59-14. You have a standard. You have a standard of where you're trying to reach, and you don't let an opponent, if they're bad, make you play bad. And that's one thing that's really frustrating over the last couple of years is that when you play a terrible team, you need to beat them down. Like, you're better than them. And then when you play a better team, it seems like the team is more amped and more focused, and it should never be that way. Anytime you step in between the white line, you should be the same way every single time. Every single time. And that is the culture that Pruitt is trying to build here. And hopefully he gets it done sooner than later. And Titans Bill, thanks for the phone call. No one should be talking about a change of head coach after game one. I don't care if Pruitt would have won 100-0. What are you going to do, give him a raise off one game? Come on now. Let's try to get back to Rod. Is Rod back?
What's going on, Jason?
Oh, Rod, you sound beautiful, man. You sound beautiful.
Man.
You sound great.
To be down there in Charlotte with the boys, man, it was crazy.
Yep.
But I can tell you this, from what I've noticed in the last 2 days, because, it took me 2 days to call, because you know how we get emotional.
Yeah, you was upset, man. You should be. I know how you are as a fan, man. You're passionate. I respect it.
What I can see and what I did see is the fact that fans need to understand the same way we had to let Butch go. In some instances, some of these players that played up under Butch have the same Butchisms, and they don't get it.
Correct.
and I hate to say it like that, but you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Pruitt knows, and I'm sure he has had a conversation with Fulmer and said, hey, from what I've seen, from what I tried to do, and these players are not getting it, I'm going to have to play my guys. And a lot of people right now are feeling that recruits are not concerned, or after they've seen that debacle, they're not going to want to play here. It's on the flip side. Players want to come because they know they're going to start over people that cannot play football.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to break a habit?
Exactly.
Go do something for 21 days, or go do something for 4 weeks, and wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm just going to do it totally different. It's hard to do that. And these players for the last 2-3 years, they've been doing things the same way under Butch Jones, and it's going to take time to break it. And I'm sorry that it comes across as an excuse, but it's just the truth, man. We got players who were talking about snapping and clearing in the postgame interview.
I've seen it, Jason. It don't make no sense.
What? What did you just say, boy?
It don't make no sense, bro.
Snapping
and
clear?
What mean,
that's a cuss word.
No,
get the paddle
me
out.
And you both know that you can, let's just say your daughter. Let's say you got an uncle that you cannot stand, and you let your daughter, you and your wife decide to let your daughter go stay with, Uncle such and such for 4 years or 5 years.
Yes.
When you get your daughter back, she's going to be a totally different person. That's exactly what has happened to our players, and people don't get it.
Yeah.
Are y'all that naive and stupid?
Well,
you got to be trained right and proper to work.
But Rod, you have to understand something. We're emotional. We're emotional.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, and so that's why we need to come back here and just have a real conversation. It's taking you a day to call. It's Tuesday, so you've taken your Saturday night, you've taken your Sunday, you've taken your Monday. Here you are on Tuesday. You've had 3 days, 2.5 days to kind of process and think with your head. And so other folks have to do the same thing. And I understand that. And again, I respect that. I get that.
I got one more thing to say, Jason. I got one more thing to say. No disrespect at all. None. No disrespect to my boy. But I understand that your dad walked with Martin Luther King Jr., but you need to walk over to that bench and sit down somewhere.
Oh, don't do that, Rod.
Y'all have a great day.
Don't do that, Rod. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Grandfather.
That was low-key a nice.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
A nice little line.
Micah's going to be – I don't care what he does at Tennessee. Micah is going to be great in whatever he does. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's where it's more important is what he does after football. And this is it ain't personal. It's all business. You're looking at the play. Micah had a bad day. He had a bad day. He has to be better. He knows he has to be better because Trevon Flowers is going to play over him. Once Schamberger gets his act together and Schamberger's playing nickel, I can see Trevon Flowers moving over to safety, being right there with Nigel. And Nigel has to play better too. Mm-hmm. Like Nigel didn't have his best
I was waiting
game.
for you to let me rant.
I mean,
we expect more out of our captain in the secondary.
He has to be better.
We talk about Schamberger.
Still second on the team in tackles, but we expect more.
Gotta be better.
We talk about Schamberger and Flowers playing more, but if Micah doesn't step up, there's another veteran who, when he's healthy, I guarantee you Pruitt will trot out there and see if he can make some plays, and that's Todd Kelly Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's proven he can make plays in this league, and once he gets back to being healthy, I think Pruitt will trot him out there and see if he can make some plays for Tennessee.
You ain't right for that, Rod. Rod. Bad boy.
I was not.
You get a hit with a rolled up newspaper on that one, Rod. That was bad. No, Rod. No. All right, we'll go back to the phones after this.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices, and during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted, like a new Silverado, now 25% off, a new Equinox, now 20% off, and a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995, plus sign with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include auto savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GMF. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Pass downfield is complete. That's Swain. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown.
All right, we'll go back to the BJ Waterproofing Hotline. Hour 1 is brought to you by Alumni Hall. Get game day ready. I went to Alumni Hall about 4 times before my trip to Charlotte. Just had to get game day ready. Had to get the right shirt, the right look. And I thought I achieved that on the Feinbaum show with the orange collar and the football helmet with the power tee on there. A little disappointed we were not able to be on set outside, but because of lighting, we had to be there in the SEC Now bus, which is just, oh my goodness, it's not a bus, it's an RV.
Oh, yeah.
It is gorgeous inside. So
we didn't get to talk about that yesterday, but you and Fred White were absolutely phenomenal.
Did a wonderful job, didn't
Friday.
they?
I thought I'm not saying this because you're my friend. I honestly thought that was your best media appearance. Just very.
You were definitely
your
ready.
Points and just very calm, cool, and collected, which you always are. But your delivery was as the best I've ever seen it.
Well, thank you, man.
I thought you answered the questions really well.
Well, thank you, man. Feinbaum did a good job of setting me up with some softball, so I give the credit to the interviewer for making it easy on me. But I really appreciate that, and there were a good group of people, Tennessee fans, that came out to support that thought the interview was going to be on set. We had to go inside the bus, and they still stayed there and hung out. So I want to give big thanks to Rob, Neil, and Lisa, and Vol Nation came out. He was there.
Nice. He was hanging out with Paul.
Yeah, I got C-Tump in Athens was out there, and just very, very, very thankful that so many people support. We did the VFL meet and greet there at the Infuse Bar, and it was a cool scene. Al Wilson was there. Leonard Little was there. Omar Gaither stopped by for a little bit, and just really humbled by all the awesome words. I still got to tell a Cam Newton and Steph Curry story because I saw those guys on. Yeah, I saw those guys on Friday, so I'll share that with you in hour 3. Didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. All right, let's go to the phones, and let's get to Evan. Evan, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good. I think me and a lot of other people, and I'm not pushing any kind of panic button, but I think what's causing a lot of this sort of boiled over frustration is not just, I don't think there's many people that are truly calling out Pruitt. I think a lot of it has to do with just, yet again, another rebuild. Like in 13, the excuse was, oh, well, the recruiting class in 12 was terrible. And now it's looking at it, and you're like, oh, again, another 3 years. So anyway, I'll hang up and listen. Hope you guys have a good day.
Well, I agree with every part of that phone call except for one word: excuse. It wasn't an excuse. It was a reason. The 12 recruiting class, they didn't sign an offensive lineman. I mean, you didn't. You didn't sign an offensive lineman, and you didn't have the playmakers on the outside. Remember, you lost Cordell Patterson, you lost Justin Hunter to the NFL after that 2012 season. Dayrick gets kicked off the team right there in 2012. So what if Dayrick is still on the team and he's a senior in the 13th season? I mean, things changed. Dayrick was special. Didn't do everything off the field like he's supposed to, but man, he was a dog on the field. And I would ride with Dayrick Rogers at wide receiver all day long. But you lost so much talent on the outside. Now, you had an NFL offensive line, but you didn't have the playmakers and you didn't have a quarterback at the time. So that, not an excuse, more of a reason. But I agree with everything Evan said.
That's a failure in recruiting if we've ever seen it.
Yeah, and I wonder, and we'll talk about this in hour 3, who stepped into a better situation roster-wise, Butch Jones or Jeremy Pruitt? I don't really know right now, and we'll talk about it in hour 3. But let's go back to the phones, and let's get to Nathan. Nathan, good morning.
Swain, I absolutely love the show, man, and have enjoyed listening over the last couple of days. I went Saturday, and, man, I had in my mind built up. We had recruited better, and our elite defensive line, our offensive line would just dominate. But I'll be honest, man, even at halftime, I had people around me like, man, we got this, we're going to win. And I never at one time thought our defense was going to stop them. I never saw enough pressure. I never saw our DBs be able to cover good enough. And I'm going to be honest, man, I think there's a lot of bust in recruiting.
Yes.
That people are really high on.
Yes.
And I think anybody to blame Pruitt for that is just crazy. Look, it looks great on paper that we got a bunch of 5 stars and 4 stars, but they haven't been developed. You said that a while ago, and I completely agree. Another thing that I saw, too, and I don't know if you probably saw it as well, is just, man, when stuff happens, it's just like they think it's going to happen bad because of what they've been through the last couple of years with Butch. I mean, look, when he goes for it on 4th down, I mean, you could just see him jogging off the field thinking, we're kicking a field goal, Oklahoma again. And then Pruitt goes for it, and it was like they were in shock. Man, we're actually going for it. And I'll be honest, man, as a fan, in my mind, all I can see is, look, we're going to fumble this ball. We're going to do something stupid. Because that's what we've seen from Butch and Dooley the last several years. And I think one thing that you stressed today, and I think it's so true, all that trash that they have been through for the last couple of years, it's going to take a little bit to get that out. And when it does, I think they'll be better. But, man, we don't have the talent right now that I think everybody thought we had up front on either side of the ball. Now, I think we can be a 6-6 team. And if you look at that, that's not terrible considering what they came from last year. Is it where we want to be? No. But I think that's realistic, the best-case scenario for this year. I just think talent-wise, we just don't have it. And I thought we did. I'll be honest, man. I was one that was, man, if we beat West Virginia, we might actually win 8 games this year. But, man, it's not happening. And you can get mad at Pruitt. I mean, and I think sometimes you're going to and question him. But I think man, he's got to get his talent in as hard as that is for us to understand because it's just not there. and I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you. So when I was watching the game, I was sitting there and the fourth quarter started, and I wanted to just see how many guys were going to hold up with number 4. And wasn't a lot.
I noticed that, too.
You noticed that, too?
I noticed that, too.
I was like,
now, I will say, when the fourth quarter began, all of the assistant coaches did it, especially the strength and conditioning coaches. And there are a couple players that did it, and then it took the strength and conditioning coaches to kind of start bouncing around. Like you see Scott Cochran at Alabama bouncing around on the sideline. Tennessee's strength and conditioning staff was doing that. And then the players kind of, okay, got the 4s up. You didn't – that was one of the things I was disappointed in, and maybe I just missed it at some point of the game. I know Florida State was awful last night, but at kickoff, if you were watching, that entire sideline was jumping up and down. They were hype. As Swain said a moment ago, the sideline was lit, as the kids say. I didn't see any of that from Tennessee. And that's not the end-all, be-all, but I kind of expected for Tennessee's sideline to kind of look similar to how Florida State did last night at the beginning of the game because of what happened last season. You went through last season. You went through the former coach. And then everything you've done this offseason to prepare for this season, I thought it would appear that Tennessee was more excited to begin the game.
I've been in my fair share of fights growing up, okay? And I'm going to use this analogy for this situation. And then we got to go to a break, and then we'll get around to hour 3. But let's say you're in a street fight with someone, and you punch them, and they fall down, and you know they look like they don't want any. What are you gonna do? It's time to pounce. It's over. Like, this is the perfect time. When you give someone your best shot and you punch them to the ground, and they get up and they say, "Come on, hit me again." You hit them, and they don't flinch, and they laugh at you. You're like, "Oh man." You start thinking about if you really want to continue this fight, because this dude crazy. You got to be able to take a hit, take a punch in the mouth from West Virginia, and not be fazed by it. And I thought we were fazed too much by West Virginia's punches. We crumbled. We were not mentally tough. Fourth quarter, yeah, you're down. But you were down against Georgia Tech last year. Mm-hmm. You're going to be down. It's not over until there's zeros on the clock. And I didn't think we showed a lot of I hate to say this word because people get so triggered. It's like, Swain, you wore your polo to the top button. Yeah, man, I was doing it before Bush was a coach. Bush didn't invent it. Like, Bush drinks water. You're not gonna drink water too because Bush drinks water. Like, Bush drinks he breathes oxygen. You're not gonna breathe in oxygen because Bush did it. But we didn't show a lot of resiliency. We didn't. And I'm sorry, that's a word that was in the dictionary before Bush used it. But that's what happened on Saturday. Like, we didn't punch back. We just crumbled when they punched us in the mouth in the third quarter. And that's something that will change under Pruitt, or you won't play. Simple as that. Hour 3 coming up.
There's a 10% chance of showers today, mostly sunny with a high of 91 and a low of 71. A 20% chance of rain tomorrow, partly sunny skies and a high of 89 with a low of 70. Another 20% chance Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words. Better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
Having surgery can be scary, and having to navigate around a massive medical center can be even more overwhelming. Fortunately, the premier office-based surgery center in Knoxville offers a convenient and affordable option for surgical care. Our skilled surgeons and friendly staff treat you just like family. Everything at our state-certified accredited center is designed with your comfort in mind, and Premier offers flat fee, package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia procedures. Visit PremierSurgeryPackages.com for more details. The Premier Office-Based Surgery Center. Surgical expertise you can trust.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
All right, we're going to the phones here. We have Rod in Kentucky, Mr. Peoples, and Knoxville Mike. So let's get... No, I think Mr. Peoples is first. Mr. Peoples is first. Mr. Peoples, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm great, Mr. Peoples.
Hey, man, I'm watching the show, man. I want to say, man, you're doing a wonderful job, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
CFL in the building, you know what I mean?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
This is Antron Peebles, man. I played for the University of Tennessee, so...
Okay.
And Fred White was my teammate. Leonard Little Al was my roommate, man. And you know, as I looked at the game on Saturday, man, I just recognized, man, it's no leaders, man. They're a young team. There's no leaders, and they don't know who. They haven't found their team identity, man. Is you know, at the end of the day, like you all said, in the fourth quarter, no one put their hand up.
Yep.
Where they do that?
I don't know. I don't know where they do that at, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
In the fourth quarter, that was a time when you said, hey, this is the last time to make a statement. This is the last time to get back in the game. This is the last time to put the nail in the coffin. This is the last time of those 60 minutes that we always say. You got 60 minutes to play the football game.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win the ball game. We made a lot of mistakes.
That's right.
Young guys, and we got to expect that. And at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to the fourth quarter, it's time to put the pedal to the metal and it's time to do the job, get the job done.
And,
you know, and we got to find our leader. Our team doesn't have any identity yet. We got to develop our identity, find out who we are, get that passion back that we used to have, and put the pedal to the metal and let's play some football. See, Butch Jones, man, he messed these kids up a little bit. Took their identity away from them, and took their pride away, man. And the team don't have an identity anymore. A lot of these kids are great athletes. I think Pruitt's going to put that back in them. He's going to give them that fire. He's going to help them find their personality. They're going to get back to the grind, man. It's going to get a little better. I hope my ball fans, I was pissed off. I was upset. I was angry.
Supposed to be.
But I think a lot of these ball fans, they got to just relax. We're going to get there, man. We're going to get back. We're a great program. Pruitt going to do it. I've been knowing him since I was 14 years old.
Oh.
At MCSU. So I'm from Murfreesboro.
Okay. Yeah, man.
You know,
we gotta have you back on the show, man. Let me ask you this, because you're talking about the fourth quarter, and I know you remember this. I don't know if you had Stuckey or Johnny Long because they made that transition during that time, but remember when we did workouts during the summer, and they would say, okay, you have this weight vest on, and it's 95 degrees, and we're gonna do max out on squats, and then we're gonna run 110s. And during the course of that run, they would say, okay, guys, I know you're tired, but now it's the fourth quarter. So mentally, you have to program yourself to say, okay, I'm tired, my legs hurt, but now I got to use my willpower. Now I have to be mentally tough. Now I have to tell my body, my mind has to tell my legs that you're not hurting. My mind has to,
you're not hurt.
My mind has to tell my body you're not tired, because now it's the fourth quarter. Now it's the time to dig in. How many times also, peoples, that, in practice at fall camp where you've already practiced an hour and a half, and they put the ones versus the ones towards the end of practice, and they said, okay, guys, it's the fourth quarter. You've had a long day of practice. You're tired. And now you have to do the same thing. Your mind has to tell your body that you're not tired, that you're not hurt, because now this is a time to dig in. We didn't see that on Saturday. We saw a team that was like, man, it's the fourth quarter, and there was no change. There was no change in intensity. You mentioned it. There's no leadership on the sideline. That's what we have to get back to. And I agree with you. I thought Butch Jones stole a little bit of these players' mojo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They did, man. He did, man. And like you said, bro, a lot of these kids don't understand, man. They don't understand, like, when you in the fire, who go dig deep? Who go have that intestinal fortitude? You know what I'm saying? When we practice like we was going to play. We practiced. We fought on the field with each other, and then when we went to the dorms, we was the best of friends ever.
Yes.
Everybody wants to reap the reward before they sow their seeds and they put right for that harvest, man. It's going to be turmoil. There's going to be things that you're going to go through. You got to be able to fight through those things, man. These kids are going through turmoil right now. They're going through their times of struggle. But once they get back, man, they're going to figure it out, man. They have to come together.
That's right.
So we're going to help them get together, man. He's going to bring that Alabama pride to where we are right now. He's going to get us right, man. I'm not worried about it. We're going to be all right, man. We're going to be all right.
Peoples, I'm going to reach out to you, my friend, on Facebook, man. Thank you so much for your call, your passion. And you can tell you play at Tennessee, man. You can hear it in his voice, man. You can hear that pain.
Come on.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you. And I'm going to get in contact with you before you hit me, man.
Okay.
Give me a shout, bro. I love you, man. BFL, that's what we do, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good stuff from Antron Peoples. Played here from Murfreesboro, played tight end here. Really appreciate his phone call. You can tell the passion in his voice. All right, let's go back to the phones here, and we will get to Rod in Kentucky. Rod, good morning.
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, man. How you doing, sir?
Man, doing well considering the circumstances.
I understand.
I think Mr. Peebles was on fire.
Yes.
But, man, there's one thing that I have to disagree with him with. I don't think that you can necessarily teach leadership. I think guys have it, and you got guys who don't. And that is totally a Butch Jones product, because if you look at his coaching staff, he didn't have any leaders on that coaching staff. So naturally, you're not going to have guys who can go out and recruit and find guys who have that leadership mentality about them. We have a bunch of guys who they're followers, but when it comes time, crunch time, you need that guy to step up, take the bull by the horn, and say, "Hey, y'all get on my back. I'm going to take you to the promised land." We don't have one guy on the squad that can do that. And, you know, people can throw out Jeremy Pruitt this, Jeremy Pruitt that. That's not Jeremy Pruitt's fault. I mean, you got to have guys who have that sort of want to about them. Like, I talk to my guys at work about this a lot. You got a can't do, okay, you maybe can't do this, or is it a want to? Like, and a lot of these guys, yeah, their abilities hurting a little bit, but, man, what it boils down to is that desire, that want to. Like, our front seven on defense, man, oh, my goodness, man. I mean, you can say scheme or whatever, but, man, I just saw guys who were flat out didn't have that drive to lock on to the running back coming out the backfield. I mean, man, Kirkland just flat out got burnt by running backs on a couple of occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the desire to actually want to make the play, man, that's the thing that I'm most excited about with Jeremy Pruitt, because I believe he's going to get us some leaders in. But, man, it's going to take him a minute.
Well, let me present a different perspective to you, because on one hand, I do understand you know, sometimes you either have it or you don't from a leadership standpoint. But let me just I agree with Peoples there. I do understand what you're saying. These kids are 18 to 22 years old, and they don't know that they possess a superpower of leadership. And it takes for a coach to bring it out of them. It takes a coach to sit down to them and say, "Hey, man, you have something special, but you're not using it. You're not using what the good Lord gave you. You have charisma. You have the power to lead people by your actions." And sometimes we have players on our football team that they've been leaders the whole entire time and not know it. You have guys on our team that they're leaders for the wrong reasons. How about the guy who's doing the wrong thing, and you have other players that follow him? That player has leadership qualities. It's just used for wrong. When I was here at Tennessee, I was a player that I was like, I'm gonna do my job, and I'm not gonna call anybody else out. Okay, I'm just gonna do my job. That was me for the first 3 years, and it took my position coach, who was on his way out, Pat Washington. He knew he was getting fired, and he was like, "You got to be a leader next year. Like, you can do it." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Word?" Like a Dave Chappelle word. Word? I can do it? And he was like, "Yeah."
Here's the one thing I'll say about that, though, Swain. Like, I agree with that to a degree.
Yeah.
But the problem that I see is that when these bad plays are made, like, I don't see guys get angry about it. I don't see guys get mad about it. Like, man, we got to pick it up. Like, man, you know, it's just this sort of like defeated. And man, when you watch a guy get defeated like that, and you see his confidence destroyed like that, like, man, I believe we got some guys.
Yes.
They might very well be at the point of no return. Like,
yes, I'm with you on that. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
Great show, man. You guys are on fire as always. I'll hang up with you.
Thank you. One thing that stands out to me about what Al Wilson was like as a teammate, and this comes from Fred White, because everything Fred tells me, like, I'm a sponge. I remember all that stuff. Fred told me that Al Wilson, when they were playing, told Fred, "If I beat you to the ball carrier, I'm going to whoop your you know what." Like, if I beat you to the ball carrier, I'm going to whoop your butt.
Tennessee doesn't have that on their roster.
No. And you don't have to bicker in between plays, because you don't have time to do that. You got to line back up. Offenses are going. But on the sideline, who is running the show on the sideline? We need the players to step up and say, "You need to be doing this. We got to be doing this. Come on, guys. We can do it. It ain't over. Let's work together. Let's make this adjustment." I didn't see a lot of that on Saturday. I didn't see a lot of that.
And obviously we don't know the players personally. We're not around them every day, so this is just a guess. But I would like to see that from Daniel Batuli, Cortez Sapp.
He's earned the right to do it.
Darren Kirkland Jr., Nigel Warrior.
Yeah, he's earned the right to do it. Now, I do have to share my Steph Curry, Cam Newton story, and I do have to tell you why I thought Tennessee would win based on what I've seen in practice, because that's a really good question from someone on Twitter. And I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind being 100% transparent, and I was wrong. It did not translate to the game field. What I saw in practice did not translate to the game field at all. So we got to take a break. We are set to be joined by Austin Price here at 9:15. So Austin's he's probably gonna be a little upset that we're gonna call him a couple minutes late. I'm sorry, Austin, but we are going to be joined with Austin Price coming up next. So if you're holding, give us a call back here after Austin Price is finished here on the show. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices, and during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted, like a new Silverado, now 25% off, a new Equinox, now 20% off, and a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off NSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
All right, we're joined by Austin Price of VolQuest here on the Swain event. I feel like being Austin like related or something now. I see him all the time. I mean, I'm on the locker room with him now, and we have him on Tuesdays. And Austin, I feel like I should know like your favorite color or something, man.
Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, man, I knew that. I knew it was blue. I knew that. Yeah. Do we have any leaders on our football team, Austin?
That's a good question. I do think Garantano is a leader. And I think that a year ago maybe he tried to force that and a little bit, but I think that he's just naturally grown into it this off season. He's got fire, he's got passion, and I think that goes a long way for number two. And a big reason why he has the locker room and this Tennessee starting quarterback. Besides the fact that he's played really well through fall camp and other things, I think that he has the locker room, and that's because he is a leader on the offensive side. Defensively, I would probably say Daniel Batuli. Outside of that, I think they're still searching. Trey Smith as well. I mean, I think Trey Smith a given as a leader on the offensive side, but quarterback Trey Smith on offense and Batuli on defense.
Yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough at all. As I'm writing down these three names and just taking up my whole entire notebook with those three names there. What is a overreaction from this game, and what is a fair reaction from Vol fans? So give me one overreaction and give me one fair reaction from Vol fans. I mean, 40-14, Tennessee was outclassed in every way, was outmanned in every way, and that's just not something you see when a Big 12 team plays the SEC team. So give me one overreaction and give me one fair reaction from the fan base that you see.
Overreaction, the offense isn't very good still. I think that they showed some flash, some promise. I think guys like Josh Palmer, who we talked about on TV the other night, Jason. Last year he couldn't catch a cold, and I thought he caught everything coming his way. Even caught the one deep ball that Garantano did throw, which was caught about 1.5 yards out of bounds, but he still caught it. And obviously Tim Jordan flashed, maybe not to Coach Pruitt's standards, because as Coach Pruitt pointed out on his TV show, there were a couple of other times where he cut it back, whereas if he just hits the hole, he may have been running out of the back of the end zone.
Yep.
But I thought Garantano was solid. I thought the receivers played well. The offensive line got better over the course of the game. You're right; they've got to be more consistent. They've got to be able to, you want to protect your defense, so you don't want to go boom boom and score, especially when the defense is struggling like they are. But they've got to, they can't go 17 plays every time either. I think Tennessee's offense will be better over the course of the next few weeks, and I think even when it gets to SEC play, will be better than what it showed against West Virginia. The fair assessment is Tennessee's defense is just not very good, and I don't think that's necessarily on Jeremy Pruitt. I think that's more on the fact that the talent just does not match up. You look up front, Tennessee can't get to the quarterback. Against a guy like Will Greer, that's a nightmare. Tennessee's thin at linebacker. And then they're young in the secondary, and even where they have experience in the secondary, Jason, a lot of those guys have, battle wound scars that are just tough to overcome. Micah Abernathy, Nigel Warrior, Balin Buchanan, all those guys played Saturday as if, oh, here we go again after the touchdown, the initial touchdown by West Virginia.
Pruitt is a coach who takes responsibility. He said it's on him, and it's hard. It's hard when I talk to Tennessee fans, and West Virginia put up 40 and probably could have put up more if it wasn't for drop pass or the ball being overthrown. I mean, guys were running behind our defense. It's a hard sell for some people to say it's not on Pruitt. We know that Pruitt is not the reason why they lost, and we know that he is behind the 8 ball as far as talent, and his hands are tied. How do you balance saying, okay, it's talent, but without putting a little bit of responsibility on maybe him to say, okay, I can't do the same things that I've done with Georgia's talent or Alabama's talent or Florida State's talent. What would we put on Pruitt just a little bit? Because at the end of the day, he is a DC, and he doesn't care about taking the responsibility, which is something I like. What responsibility do you think he is taking?
Well, I think he's taking responsibility for putting the secondary in bad positions just with certain calls. I think he's taking position or responsibility for just the overall play of the defense. He knows it has to be better. I mean, a year ago, Tennessee fans clamored, really the last couple of years, for Butch Jones just to own, when there was a loss.
Yes.
And so to hear Pruitt come out say that, hey, it's on me, even if it wasn't on him, I think that that's protecting your players. That goes a long way to winning your team over, winning the program over, winning the fans over. I just think that that's an old school way to look at it, and I think you can put some things on Jeremy Pruitt. I did not think he seemed out of place on Saturday for a first-time head coach. I thought he handled himself on the sidelines fairly well. I thought it was very poignant yesterday in the press conference that he owned the fact that he needs to be able to contribute more on the offensive side of the ball. And that doesn't mean like calling plays, but that means like being able to help with something maybe that their defense is doing, give an input on maybe like whether it should be run or pass, but not necessarily the play call. So I do think that, he sees where he has to be better going forward. I think this was a good measuring stick for him. But it still boils down to, as you pointed out, Tennessee's lack of talent. And I know some fans go, well, the recruiting class ranking was 13th. It was 15th. They had X amount of 4-stars. But, you know, you look across the board, and I can look at the 2016 class, 2017 class, and you just go, this guy's never going to play here. This guy's never going to play here. This guy's never going to play here. And you say that way too much.
Joined by Austin Price of VolQuest, and Austin's favorite color is blue, in case you are wondering. Here on the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. You mentioned offensive line settling in early in the game. Actually, first play of the game, there was a miscommunication, and that cost Tennessee an entire quarter, in my opinion. Losing field position and really playing on their heels. Got out of the hole, got a good drive right there before the half, but really didn't have a lot of opportunities in the first quarter because of the miscommunication that put Tennessee in so many negative positions. What happened on that play? And also let us know about some of the adjustments made on offensive line, and who do you see being counted on moving forward, because practice reps and game reps are different. This coaching staff is new, and I compare what happened Saturday a little bit to Butch Jones managing the quarterback situation the first 3 games. Nathan Peterman looked good in practice, but they didn't know how he would react when the bullets were flying. This was the first game for this coaching staff to see who they can count on in a game setting and not just look great in practice. So based on what happened Saturday, who are the offensive linemen that you think will be counted on moving forward?
Well, the first play of the game, to answer your first question, was on Ryan Johnson. The other offensive lineman went to pass set, and he was in a run block and was already to the second level in the linebackers before Garantano ever got hit. He was supposed to crash down on the nose, Bigelow, and he didn't. And then to the untrained eye, and I'll be the first to admit, untrained eye on my end when at the game, I did not see it either until I went back and watched it. It looks like it's Brandon Kennedy who whiffed, but that man was actually not Brandon Kennedy. It was Ryan Johnson who was supposed to slide in and protect on Bigelow. Ultimately, I thought, Jameer Johnson struggled early. I did not think Brandon Kennedy was great early, even though that was not on him the first play of the game. But I thought both of those guys got better. Jameer Johnson went out. Jerome Carvin came in. I thought Carvin gave him a real pop on that 17-play drive. By the way, a lot of credit goes also to Nathan Niehaus, who came in. I was shocked when they didn't slide Drew back to left and put in Marcus Tatum at right, when they just went with Niehaus at left. Nathan Niehaus is someone who's not really played here. And he came in and I thought performed very admirably in those 6 plays or so when Trey was out getting his ankle worked on. But when Jameer Johnson came back in the second half, Jason, I thought he really performed well, showed why the coaches like him at guard, showed some athleticism, showed some nasty. But interested to see where they go from there. Jameer Johnson was repping at right tackle yesterday at practice. Does that mean he's going to be the right tackle this week? I don't necessarily think so. I think more than anything, it boils down to they want to get Jameer Johnson some reps over there. That way they can eventually maybe play him there. I would be somewhat shocked this week if Drew Richmond's not the starting right tackle. But, Drew was not great on Saturday, and if Drew doesn't get it together, you can totally see his time dwindling as a starter on the offensive line.
We've asked you about J.J. Peterson for weeks now. He finally makes it to campus, and we saw Bigfoot live in practice yesterday. Looked like he had one too many biscuits during the summer. But what were your first impressions of seeing J.J. Peterson on the practice field, and how do you think he will be utilized going forward?
Big boy. You're right. I mean, maybe a tad out of shape, but not terrible. And, more than anything, it just provides depth. And, when I look at that middle linebacker spot, I mean, they're kind of running a 3-man rotation with Kirkland, Sapp, and Daniel Batuli. And they need another guy. And whether that's Will Ignont stepping up, or J.J. Peterson, I don't think he plays this weekend. Would be shocked if he did. But at the same time, who's to say they don't throw him out there on special teams this weekend? It's ETSU.
Why not?
You can afford a mistake, and you know, and just let him kind of get his feet wet. You know, let him get the you know, the cleats screwed in good and let him go. And so, you know, I do think by, you know, somewhere early to mid-October, he'll be a factor just because of depth. And, you know, Tennessee's going to look to play some of those young kids this weekend, next weekend, and see what they have. See what they have with guys like Kingston Harris and Emmett Gooden and Karat Garland, John Mincy up front. See what they have in some of those, you know, defensive backs that got a lot of run this past weekend, but also see like guys like Theo Jackson, you know, see what they have and figure it out, because they've got to find players that can make some plays and not guys that are just out there to, you know, kind of, you know, limit, you know, you know, the old Sports Center slogan, you can't stop them, you can only hope to contain them.
Yes.
Well, the contain them thing is kind of what those older heads are doing. They need somebody to actually stop somebody.
Yeah. Austin, do you know my favorite color?
I don't, Swain. I don't. I'll go with, I mean, like, since, you know, you played here, I would, you know, if it's not orange, if we're excluding orange.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going purple, Swain.
That's me, Austin.
Purple?
I'm all about the purple.
I believe Swain's favorite color is black.
Purple? Austin?
I feel like it's red.
Oh, boy. Austin. All right. So let me get you out here on this one, Austin. Purple. Interesting. The recruits. Did Saturday help Tennessee with those recruits, those highly rated recruits that may see opportunity for them to play early, or hurt seeing Tennessee struggle to maybe compete at a high level because maybe they're looking at winning a little bit more early in their career? Hurt or help Tennessee with those big-time recruits from Saturday's performance?
I don't think Saturday's performance hurt or helped either way, because I think it's such a small sample size. Now, if you go through and you lose to Florida, and then you lose to Georgia, and you lose to Auburn, you lose to Alabama, and you're sitting there at 2-5, then yeah, I think that can hurt. But you know, I don't think the one game will have an effect on whether Quavaris Crouch or, you know, ends up picking Tennessee or Wanye Morris sticks with Tennessee. I don't think that one game has that big of an impact. But over the course of the season, it can have an impact.
Austin Price, VolQuest, Austin Priceless on Twitter is how you can follow him. And his favorite color is blue, by the way. That's important. Austin, man, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Let's do it again sometime.
Hey, we'll do it next Tuesday, Swain.
Wait a minute. Was that a Jeremy Pruitt impersonation that I just heard there?
Was it?
It sounded like it. Chris Lowe threw you under the bus last week, ripped off a great impression, and said that you had a better one. So, Austin, was that a Jeremy Pruitt impersonation out the door? Was that what I heard?
Guys, I got to be better going forward, and I got to put them in a position to be successful.
Oh, that gets me excited.
Man, that sounds just like Pruitt. Austin Price.
He's all over it, man.
VolQuest.
He's all over it.
All right, Austin, thanks, man.
See you guys. Be good.
See you.
Are we sure we just didn't interview Jeremy Pruitt impersonating Austin Price?
Hey, man. I think we did. All right, now we got to get back to the phones. Had a lot of people holding, and I still have to, in 25 minutes, get to the phone. I still have to tell my Steph Curry and Cam Newton story, and I still have to share why I thought Tennessee can win based on what I saw at practice, okay? And I will do that in 25 minutes. Please help me do that, okay? Guys, calls. We got to get the text box. We got to share good stories. We only have 25 minutes to do that. All right?
Pretty sure this is Matt.
All right. Well, let's get to Matt. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on?
Everything.
I'll be quick. Yeah, I know. I've been listening. You know, first off, we got a football coach. What we saw on the sidelines, I love Pruitt's demeanor, and I think his mentality is going to transfer. But like a lot of callers have said, we just got to get that butch out of these players. And second, I think to talk to this leadership thing, I'd love to see Jared Guarantano be more vocal. I think he's developed significantly in the offseason, and I think that Taylor Chris coming in kind of lit a fire underneath him, and he knew that he had to get better if he was going to keep his job. So I love that fight that I saw out of him. Tim Jordan, he ran like a grown man. I think he's got some development to do, but he could get it done, and I really like what I out of him. And I I think we just need Inky Johnson to come to a practice. You know, Inky Johnson just come speak to these boys and get them right and get them squared away. And I think Juwan Jennings is also a man right there that could step up once he gets his identity back from the struggle he went through last year. And I think he could definitely be a leader on this team. That's a very vocal leader on the field as well. And then finally, talking about leadership, and I'll get off of this, just want to give a shout-out to my man, A.J. Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I know I love seeing that headline, the Broncos signed him.
Yes.
And I lit up, I got chills after following his story. He was one of the elite leaders on this team in the last decade that stands out in my mind. I hate he was robbed of his finishing out his season, but hats off to that man for keeping his eye on the prize, staying in shape, and getting signed by the Broncos. I wish him nothing but success. I'm so excited to pull for him.
Absolutely, man. Great phone call. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Who do we have there next? We got Nathan. Let's get to Nathan. Nathan, good morning.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, biggest thing that stood out to me and one thing that bothered me was the same thing we've been seeing now for years, and I can't put my thumb on it of why, but missed tackles. Missed tackles. I mean, and I obviously had a chance, and I don't know if I want to go back and watch it again, but if you look at crucial missed tackles when guys get their hands on their receivers, on Will Greer, if we make some of those tackles, we turn, 20, 30-yard gains into 8-yard gains, touchdowns into 10-yard gains, making them earn every yard. When we're not making them earn yards, an offense like that destroys you. And I was very disappointed from where Pruitt's background, where he came from. That was one of the things I was looking for personally in this game is, are we going to tackle better? Are we going to – I mean, I was frustrated with that.
Let me share this with you, Nathan, and this is a really good time to answer a really great question from Twitter. Someone asked me, okay, what did I see in practice that made me confident that Tennessee can win? I remember specifically Jeremy Pruitt saying, step on the ball carrier's toes when you go to make a tackle. I remember him saying that, teaching these guys, telling them, you don't just dive at guys' feet. You have to go step on their toes to secure the tackle and wrap up. I remember him saying that because it caught my attention. I was like, oh, man, okay. That's coaching. That's teaching. Explaining it in a way that so you don't misinterpret it, so that way you do understand it. It's one thing to say, hey, wrap up, go tackle. But saying, hey, step on the guy's toes when you make the tackle. Micah, 2 occasions, dove at a dude's feet when he didn't have to. Step on his toes, shoot your hands, make the tackle. There was one running play. We're still trying to find it. It was in the first quarter where – first or third. Sorry, Ben. But I know we were going in the direction of where the Bank of America building was. So if you were at the game, you know what I'm talking about. And the ball's on the right hash. The running back runs it wide left. Micah shows up. Here he is. He stops his feet a little bit and allowed the running back to run outside. You're supposed to keep your outside shoulder free. All your help is inside. And that running back gained 2, 3, 4, 5 yards when it should have been a 3-yard loss. Micah on the long touchdown run just dove at the dude's feet. We got to be better tackling there. And that's an example of it not translating from the practice field to the game field. Because I know these guys are being told what to do, but they didn't do it. And that's why I felt confident about this game, because I knew they were being taught the proper techniques and they were taught exactly what to do. And I thought they would go out there and execute it. I thought they had the advantage on defensive line and in the trenches, and we just didn't. We didn't. So that was my mindset going into the game.
Well, and it's just very frustrating. And so this has been going on for years now. And I guarantee you, if we had if all we could change about last Saturday's game is that we had a good night wrapping up and tackling. Now, I'm not saying it's going to change the outcome of the game, but you're going to make it much more competitive. I mean, because I know that one play where the guy caught a pass, broke out down the sideline for about 40-yard touchdown. We miss a tackle at 8 yards, 9 yards. I mean, then you give yourself the opportunity to cause a fumble, to get a sack, to do something in that drive that changes the outcome. But when you give up tackles like that, and if that's we got to stop that. We got to stop it. Last thing I'll say, when we talk about a differential in talent and a differential in the way the mindset is on this team, look at Virginia Tech's young defense last night and how they played.
Yep. Hey, you can see it, man. Justin Fuente is a good coach. We saw it when we played them in the Battle of Bristol. He was kind of like us Saturday. First game had a bunch of dudes. He did not maybe recruit. He inherited a situation where the quarterback just came from JUCO, didn't have a lot of time with him, and they got beat down. But Virginia Tech, they continue to improve each and every day, and they became a really good team late in the season. Now, their schedule was not as tough as our schedule is, but you can just see that one game doesn't define you. When you have a bunch of new, that can affect you. You can lose, but you can also go back and get better and play a lot better. And I think people just need to open themselves up for that possibility. Don't be closed-minded there. Don't completely shut the door. I'm not telling you what to do. You can be whatever fan you want to be. I'm just trying to offer some advice. That's the approach that I'm taking. All right, so Friday. So Friday I get to Romare Bearden Park. This is where the SEC Now Set Paul Feinbaum show is. And so I get there, and I'm talking to Vol Nation and Rob Neal and all the folks there, C-Tump there, and they let me know that, okay, we're going to be broadcasting this segment on the RV because of the lightning. So I go inside, and I'm hanging out with, Fred, and, we're sitting there watching Coach Former, do his thing with Paul Feinbaum, and Coach Former walks by, gives us our congratulations. By the way, Coach Former did hear Neil and Mafia's call last
And by
week.
the way, Coach Fulmer killed it on Friday. Hey, no
Yeah.
more smoke and mirrors.
What-
We're getting back to Tennessee football.
Yeah.
What did Coach Fulmer have to say about Neal and Mafia?
I'm just gonna tell you he heard it. He heard it. All
Did
right.
he enjoy it?
He heard it. He heard it. He heard it. He heard it. So he heard it, and I'll just say that. So I come back outside after doing the Feinbaum appearance, and the folks let me know that Cam Newton had walked by. He had walked by, and he had like a stroller, a baby stroller, because he has a kid. And I was like, why would he walk in the middle of all this? That just don't make any sense. I mean, he's starting quarterback at the Panthers. Why would you walk in the middle of all this? And
He's a diva.
And I was wondering, does he want attention or something? And
You should know the answer to that.
I didn't see him that time. So later on that night, we go to the VFL greeting meet, and we hang out. Wifey's hungry. My brother, his wife, and a friend, we decide to go to dinner. So we go downtown, and we go to dinner. So after dinner, we're walking back to our car in the parking garage. And my brother's a local, and so they let me know about this bakery that's inside of the Ritz-Carlton. So I'm like, man, I'm ready to go. I don't even like sweets like that anyway. So I'm like, man, I'm ready to go. I don't. I'm ready to go. And so my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, and my wife who loves sweets, they're like, oh, we got to stop at this bakery. I was like, oh, my gosh, man. FML, I'm ready to go. And so we're walking by the Ritz-Carlton. And I'm not one that's going to be starstruck at all. You'll see here in a second. So we walk. The Ritz-Carlton's on our left. right before the door, there's a little spot outside, right by the door. There's a table that seats about 2 chairs. One of the guys in that chair was Cam Newton. He had all these bracelets on and that hat and those glasses. He was in his get-up, okay, his normal get-up. And he was smoking a cigar. And he was being so demonstrative smoking a cigar. I mean, he was extra.
Can you demonstrate?
He was like, he was being super extra. He had these gyrations going on. He wanted you to know. No, he wanted you to know that he was smoking a cigar.
Cam can't blow O's.
He wanted you to know he was smoking a cigar. Okay? He was right by the door. He was talking to somebody. So I saw him about 10, 15 yards before we got to him. I tapped someone on the shoulder. I was like, there go Cam Newton right there. And so we walked right past him, and we make that left inside the door. He was right by the door, sitting down. The window was clear. So I wanted to see how he was going to react to people. Because obviously you want people to come up and talk to you if you're sitting right there.
100%.
You downtown.
You're putting yourself on display.
Yeah, you downtown. You sitting right outside the Ritz-Carlton. It ain't like you in a baseball hat, some shades. He's in his get-up. He extra, okay? And he's super extra with smoking a cigar. Look at me. I'm smoking my cigar. So I watched him be approached by people who was like, oh, man, it's Cam Newton. They want a picture, and he was like, I'm talking to somebody. No, I can't do it. And I was like, well, if you're talking to someone, it's such an important conversation. Why are you sitting right there? Like, why are you in that position? You know who you are and where you are. That was the first time I was like, man, this dude really is attention seeking. That's not just to act on the football field where he does all his running around and his demonstrations, and that's cool inside of that setting. I love that. I love that part about Cam, that he has fun and he celebrates. He's earned that right by making plays. But Cam's like that off the football field. I was like, man, this dude is thirsty for attention, and then he shuts you down if you ask him a question. Like, you're a celebrity. If you want privacy, go somewhere. You make a lot of money, they're going to give you a private room. You can't be surprised that people are interrupting you.
Yeah, so several things don't add up.
Yeah.
There.
So I'm in the bakery, whatever. I'm chilling. I'm watching Cam. I turn around, and I saw Steph Curry in the corner. And so I tapped someone. I was like, hey, man, there's Steph Curry right there. And he's holding a garment bag. His sister got married over the weekend. And so he was holding a garment bag. He dressed in his normal clothes, whatever. And I said, there goes Steph Curry. He ain't 6'3", by the way. He's
taller, shorter?
Shorter.
Did he look like me?
No. No. You don't look like Steph Curry.
Did you think of me when you saw him?
No. Nope, I did not at all.
That doesn't surprise me because you ghosted me all weekend anyways.
No, it was crazy. You ain't the only person I ghost. I was dealing with 3 kids, and it was hectic. Anyways, stop messing up my story. I'm trying to be focused here, ADD anyways. All right, so I saw Steph Curry in the corner. I'm like, man, there goes Steph Curry. I didn't say, oh, my God, Steph Curry. That's just not me. My daughter is a huge Steph Curry fan. It's her favorite basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
And so my wife was like, oh, my God, it's Steph Curry. So she wanted to, maybe take a picture of him for my daughter. She didn't approach him, but you can tell how uncomfortable Steph was because Steph went from the corner to outside.
Trying to sneak a picture.
He went to the corner to outside to talk to Cam. So he was going to talk to Cam. And when Steph went outside to talk to Cam, you can see people just notice him. And he was uncomfortable. He was like, man, I ain't trying to be in the spotlight. So he immediately went back inside and disappeared. And I respect that because, man, he's here for his sister's wedding. Mm-hmm. He's not really trying to get attention.
He's trying to be low-key.
He was trying to be low-key, but people spotted him. So Cam was, being extra. Steph was asked questions. Hey, Steph, what's going on, man? Can I get a – he just kept moving. I respect that. These guys are human too. They have a life, so they don't have to stop and sign your autograph if they don't want to. I respected Steph in that situation more than I respected Cam because Cam was attention-seeking and still wouldn't acknowledge his fans, where Steph was really trying to be low-key in that situation and kind of walked out and didn't want that attention. Told me a lot about Steph Curry. told me a lot about Cam.
Yeah.
Steph, genuine. Cam, attention seeking a little bit. I'm still gonna support Cam on the football field when he does everything right, but that was my story. Steph Curry. I looked at him like a regular dude. He looked like a regular dude to me.
It's very eye-opening.
But I guess now that you think about it, dude is like he signed a $200 million deal. He's a 2-time MVP, NBA MVP. He's not like a normal person, but I was the same way with Peyton Manning too. So those guys want you to just treat them like a normal person. Normal person. That's all they want. So
Cam have his capris on and the Pharrell hat.
he was sitting down, man, but he had some hat, looked like he was going on a fishing trip or something, and was acting extra, man. That told me a lot about Cam in that situation. All right, told that story. I told you why I thought Tennessee would win from what I saw at practice. Let's get to the text box. Let's get to Facebook Live comments. Let's take a phone call or two. We can slide one in. I know Knoxville Mike called in. Probably had to, go use the bathroom or something, so he can't call back again. Sorry, Knoxville Mike. I put you out there like that. Anything good on Facebook Live?
Folks want to know where Sean Schamberger and Jonathan Kongbo, guys of that nature, where are they?
I'm hoping y'all went into detail about Kongbo yesterday. Not detail, but just talked about it.
Why?
Well, I mean, he was MIA. He got replaced in that game.
What is there to talk about?
Exactly.
We've been talking about
people
that.
looking for him, trying to see. Well, his time came early and it went early.
But we've been talking about Combo going on 3 years.
Well, I'm not saying that they should be surprised, but
Yeah.
for people wondering, that's what happened.
Yeah.
He didn't check all the boxes in the early going and got replaced.
Tyler Bird, another football player where folks would like to know where he is.
I understand because of the All-American game, the recruiting rankings, Tyler Bird is supposed to be on the field. Tyler Bird lacks he lacks the type of quickness laterally to play DB and play wide receiver over the 4 or 5 guys who played on Saturday. So Tyler Bird is not going to be that guy that you thought he was going to be. He's not. He's not going to play DB here. He's not a DB. Wide receiver-wise, there are a lot of guys in front of him. But he can contribute. If he went to another school, he would have the same issues because he's just not smooth in and out of his breaks. His hips are not that loose, okay? And that's just the nicest way I can say it. I don't like criticizing these young men too bad. I do have to tell the truth. That's the best way I can explain it. He's not going to be the guy that you think he's going to be.
I thought it was very telling. We talked about the wide receiver screen earlier, in which Eli Wolf missed his block and got Cedric Tillman blown up. I thought it was very telling that Cedric Tillman was in the game on that little bubble screen rather than Tyler Bird, when in years past we had seen Tyler Bird in that situation.
If I'm Eli Wolf, I feel so bad in that situation. If that was Cedric Wilson, you might have got slapped. I'm serious. I mean, that's how it was. If you don't do your job and you get me killed, I'm going to fight you because you got to do your job, man. You're going to get me killed. Cedric Tillman is a freshman, so I don't know if he's going to say anything like that. But I was so upset at that play, and I get it. You're going to make mistakes. But the accountability that the players made sure they had in each other, that's why Tennessee teams were good. You didn't have a coach on the sidelines holding guys' hands or in the game holding guys' hands. They held each other accountable. And so if that was Cedric Wilson,
yeah,
the tight end would have got swung on probably in the locker room. What else you got there on
Another one from the text box here, Levere88. Maybe I missed it, but can we talk about Tim Jordan? He was one of the only players who stepped up. It was impressive watching him run. That's a guy that you and I have been talking about on this show for several months now, just needed an opportunity. Considering Madre London came in from Michigan State, you still thought Tim Jordan's going to get an opportunity. Tim Jordan got that opportunity on Saturday and took advantage of it, especially after Ty Chandler went out with the injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tina Keith there says, could you give us your thoughts on Jabbar Davis' comments after the game, and could this start happening? Still got guys 3 years in the program playing soft and scared and unacceptable. Got to start pulling scholarships. I don't know what Jabbar said, but I know
he said got to start pulling scholarships.
Well, I know me and Jabbar is walking together after the game, and I said a lot of stuff on our walk. I was furious, and I sat next to Jabbar during the game, and I was just pointing stuff out to him. I bet he was like, "Dude, will you just shut up and watch the game?" I mean, I was like, "Here it comes. Here comes the blitz. Here it comes. Hey, man." Like, that's me during the game, because I'm analyzing the game like a freaking commentator or a coach. I can't help it. And so after the game, we were walking back to the restaurant, and I was like, man, these dudes who were 4 and 5 stars and who had all this hype coming in, they were salted in baby poop. They didn't bust a grape in a fruit fight out there. I mean, that's what we were saying. And it's just the truth. It was really disappointing. So I don't know about pulling scholarships, but you can sit people down. Austin Price just said it on the show. There's going to be some guys that they're going to be watching if they don't figure it out.
That's the answer. Pulling scholarships is never the answer, in my opinion, for poor play at this level.
It's not. He's not literal when you're saying that. He is saying that you're not going to play.
He's saying something's got to change.
But you're going to be playing like you ain't on scholarship.
But you can understand why people may take him for that word, because you have heard about stories about Butch Jones, Kevin Sumlin, Jimbo Fisher threatening to pull scholarships all the time and doing their best to do so.
Well, I'm okay with 1-year scholarships. I'm okay if your butt coasting and you ain't working hard. I'm okay with your scholarship getting pulled. It's a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it. That's all I'm saying.
Very key point there.
I remember when I was playing, and we had guys on our football team that would make comments about other guys who were half butting around, and we would say, you need your scholarship pulled. You need to go home. So I don't think Jabbar was being literal in that sense. I don't think Pruitt's really going to pull scholarships, but I think there's some guys who are on scholarship that will play equal amount of time as walk-on players. If you're catching my drift, you're gonna be watching, so you better figure it out. Who we play this weekend?
The Buccaneers of ETSU.
I'm sorry, Coach Sanders, man. I ain't trying to disrespect the team, but we understand this is a matchup problem. That's why Coach Sanders is offering to run butt naked if his team wins. I think Coach just wants to get butt naked. It's okay, Coach.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
You're not run around butt naked. It's fun. The weather's still nice. You can still do it. All right, that's our time for today. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. We are out.